Oakley dokley.
You got an invite.
Yay.
Great. And we can do share chat. Perfect.
And share
Let
chat.
me just post to all my socials.
Same.
And then we can start. Now that I've done this a few times, it's not going to take me much time. But the first time I did this a few times, the setup took me a while.
Oh, yeah, right? And then I learned, wait, I could just like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And then when I'm ready, just hit enter on all of them.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I totally forgot to make the thumbnail, so I'm going to do this now.
Oof.
A few seconds. Nah, I've done thumbnails so many times, it's not that hard. It's just getting the right folder where everything is. Thumbnails. I usually do them a week in advance, but I just got so busy this week completely.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You don't have to start exactly when the ads end. See, your pick. That's weird.
Please tell me that air conditioning thing got you a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It was quite fun. Anyway. Your new model's really cute. I mean, I know it's not new, but I like it. It's adorable.
Yay.
What? Is there a reason for an orange t-shirt?
The armor.
You want to meet yourself.
The armor's supposed to be orange, but I don't have armor.
You might want to meet yourself. They can hear you.
Yeah. I used to be able to have it so that I could mute it on stream side, but I can't now.
Well, you just have to be quiet.
Okay, just really quiet. Sorry, everyone. You're gonna be able to hear me while I set things up over here.
While I make a thumbnail.
But hi, Iron.
Alright, cool. I made the thumbnail. Let's now go to socials.
Yeah.
Okay. What time is it now? Where are you at?
It's noon.
Oh, that's pretty good. Noon is not that bad.
Yep. Oh, congrats on first, Butler. We're gonna be starting shortly.
Hey, that's what the subs are for, innit? You get to be there first.
Yep. I'm still not used to the Sir Gavin.
Blue sky. And if you want to use the this is going to be the YouTube thumbnail, but if you want to use it for your socials as well, I'll post it in Discord.
Yeah.
It's literally just whipped it up in 30 seconds.
That is super duper quick.
I have template that I just used.
Yeah. that helps.
Yeah. Go to Discord real quick.
Boop.
Beep. Right.
Lucy gets some treats. Lucy's the kitty.
You have a kitty?
Yep.
Oh, cute. Sorry.
And
Just
if-
doing the last promoting things.
Yeah, that's okay. And if you heard the barking, that's Sherlock. That's the upstairs neighbor's dog.
Okay, we're gonna talk about pets in a minute once we go live.
Yeah.
Just give me a sec.
Okay.
Just have a lot of other people's discourse to go on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
To be fair, when you post and promote yourself in my channel, I tend to raid you most of the time. When I don't, like, I raid somebody from my stream team and then raid somebody who's live. So I guess because you're so much earlier than me, by the time I finish, you're probably just starting, and I'm like, oh great.
Yeah, I usually start in like 3 more hours from now.
Yeah. But it is a Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
All right, I am finished.
Woo-hoo.
Need to get a drink. 1 second.
Okay, and I actually didn't celebrate Thanksgiving yesterday because I'm not from the U.S.
Okay. I'm fully back. Are we ready to go live? Well, are you ready to swap from starting soon?
Yeah. Actually, I
Alright, on a 30. On a 2. On a 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the forest. Welcome, welcome. This is our weekly session, Ranger Roundtable, and this time we have Gavin Stoutheart as a guest. Say hello, Gavin.
hello, Gavin.
Hi, Gavin. Yeah. For those of you who are new here from Gavin's channel, I'm gonna introduce myself if you don't know who I am, and then Gavin's gonna introduce himself, and then we're gonna go straight into the ADHD fest that this is usually. So my name is Sylfania. I'm a bilingual elven ranger variety VTuber. I stream in Russian and in English. Mostly I stream Genshin in Russian, and everything else in English with occasional Russian comments. I stream games like Genshin and Honkai, a lot of real-time games like World of Warcraft. I stream D&D. I do RPGs on this channel. I do draw sometimes, very rarely. You know, play a bunch of random games. I cannot keep my attention on one game, so hence I'm variety. Now, Gavin, introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hi, I'm Gavin Stoutheart, Goblin Paladin. Yes, we do exist, or at least I do. I'm the only Goblin Paladin I know of. And I am also a variety streamer, play a variety of games. Sometimes I'll do some other stuff too, like I've been developing my own lore game. Yeah, been doing that in RPG Maker. And there's some other stuff I want to do too. I gotta figure some stuff out. I want to be able to build some models and stuff on stream, but I gotta figure out how to mount my camera and stuff.
So for that, actually, I've not done a hand cam stream in a long time, but I did one of Warhammer mini building, and I have this. I can send you from Amazon. Like, I don't know if you buy from Amazon, but I got like this table stand where you can just attach random. Like, I have the Logitech webcam, which costs like 50 quid, like $50.
Oh, that's what I'm using right now. I have a Logitech webcam.
Yeah. That's the one I'm using right now for me. I also have one that is for dog cam that's on a stand, and I have a third one that's on this. And basically all I do is, it's like a rigid thing. I rotate it, and then I flip it upside down, and then I, like, do the right view on OBS, and it works fine. It's the one with the zoom. It's great. It's a great setup. I mean, I haven't used it in a while, but it's great. And like once you set it up once, it like just sits on my desk.
It has
Then
zoom?
I flip it when I.
I thought it was pets that had the zoomies.
Well, like I feel like it autofocuses on your hands, because that was the big problem with my other webcam. It didn't autofocus, so every time it was slightly out of focus, I had to spend like 3 minutes trying to focus it again, and then I move my hands and it gets out of focus again. This one automatically focuses on what you're doing, so that's pretty good. Cool. So that's really cool. Tell me more about your game. I think I've raided into one of your streams when you were making assets for it, or like you were doing something.
Or at least trying.
Do you have any prior knowledge, or were you all self-taught doing this?
Sort of a collection of everything. I mean, when I was little, like, whoop. When I was little, I was teaching myself in an introductory programming thing. So it was basically, well, basic, like literally basic. And then he's like, well, I just don't want to program. I gotta learn other stuff too. So it's like I was trying to learn how to draw and how to write, because I wanted a good plot and stuff. And yeah, then later I got into voice acting, and that was interesting too.
I just love the dichotomy. I'm sorry. It's the sudden drop into the low register. It's oh man. Yeah, привет, Makaroshka, как дела? So what I just did, I just spoke quick Russian to a viewer. This is something that you'll see very often in my streams. I'd be talking to somebody, doing something in English, and then bam, switch to Russian, and then bam, switch back to English. Because I just feel like, at least, I don't know if you're aware, when I started streaming was in 2022, around February time. And I started streaming as a webcam streamer, and all I had was like a shitty. Sorry for the swearing. By the way, swearing in my channel is okay. I know. I'll put a coin in its cookie jar. I'll try to be good. Gavin. I apologize in advance. But basically, it was like a really bad, like, free Streamlabs. I didn't know OBS was a thing yet. I thought you had to pay for OBS. So it was like really bad, clunky Streamlabs of 2022. And I still had no idea how to like put chat on screen or anything like that. So I streamed every day for 2 hours, and I played Genshin Impact in Russian. And that's how I started streaming. And I did that for about a year and a half, until a friend of mine got inspired by me streaming, decided to stream as a VTuber. So he debuted as a VTuber. And I was like, oh man, I really like, what do you mean I could just be an elf? That sounds great. Why would I do webcams? I could just be an elf. And so I decided to kind of rebrand as a VTuber, but I still had that like audience, that I collected over a year that were like Russian speaking, and none of them spoke English. And I was like, I don't want to leave those guys hanging, and to dry. So I still keep like a Genshin, which is my Russian game.
Wait, some don't want to be dry? Some of them want to be soggy? You have some weird friends.
I mean, but I was just saying, like, I didn't want to leave them content-less, I guess.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so?
How about you? What did you start, when did you start streaming, and what was your first, like, content?
I started streaming almost 2 years ago now. It will have been 2 years on December 5th.
Your stream anniversary is coming up.
Yep. And
cool.
I started with just a PNG. You just like mouth open, mouth closed. It's basically just that reactive GIF thing.
Hey, listen, PNG tubers are VTubers as well.
Yep, that's how I started. And then it was just the first live 2D model was something that was just like completely free. And while this one was an editable model too, this one did cost like some money, but it has so many toggles.
Which I see those toggles.
Oh, yeah, I don't have the Elgato thing. I mean, I got the thing on my phone, and then I actually didn't bring my phone.
You use your phone. All right. I use the Nvidia webcam tracker because I don't have an iPhone. Okay, I'm an Android kind of girl.
I got an Android too.
Mr. Mokoroshka, who's one of my Russian viewers, basically is saying that he's a bit sick, but he's happy to be here. Doesn't understand the majority of what we're saying. He wants to say hello to you, Gavin.
Hi, y'all! I send healing hugs.
Да, все нормально, я выздоравливаю быстрее. Настроение хорошее, сейчас будем по-английски интервью делать, поэтому по-русски говорить долго не буду, давай. Awesome. What was I gonna say? Yes, I wanted to talk about pets, because I hear you got a cat.
Yep. My kitty, her name is Lucy. She was kind of a rescue. But she kind of chose us. So yeah, it kind of interesting story. So, we first discovered her outside, and she was so scared of absolutely everyone and everything, and would hide under the porch. My landlords who lived upstairs, they don't have a pet either, but they bought some cat food and put a bowl out for her, started feeding her outside, and me and someone else, we worked on a little temporary shelter. You know, those igloo food carrier things.
Oh, like for cats, yeah.
Well, it wasn't for cats; it was for food.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I see what you mean.
But yeah, just the coolers. So we cut a hole in it so that the cat could go in, and lined it with old towels so it was soft inside and could get warm. And
Aw.
yeah, and then she was using it, and but she was still super scared of people, despite having the shelter, getting food. But over time we could get closer to her, and she was slowly getting cleaner and slowly putting some weight on. And then we just actually celebrated her anniversary of coming indoors. Just last week, yeah. So it was around this time. It was all rainy and stuff, and neighbors had called animal control. Animal control had come by, and they're like, we're gonna have to take her away unless she goes inside right now. We can't have her out here because there's coyotes and stuff in the area, and such. It's dangerous for her. It's
sorry, coyotes?
Yeah, there's coyotes over here.
Oh man, okay. Sorry to interrupt, but I know people don't want to dox themselves. But in as much detail as you'd like, could you tell me approximately whereabouts you live?
I'm on the west coast. Any more west, and I'd be wet.
The west coast. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So you're quite far off then. I mean, apart from me, I don't care for doxing myself. I don't give myself an address, but I live in the snap capital of the world.
1 second.
London. So it is quite far.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have been 9 years on Wednesday.
Wow, 9 years. She must be an old girl.
She's getting there, but she still looks really good, and her fur is still so silky soft. It's impossibly soft.
Hey, I agree. What I mean is I feel like our puppy is currently in his almost 2 years old, and he's already been through a lot. But he's almost 2 years old, and he still has so much energy, and he's gonna still have energy until he's at least 5, and that's when it's gonna start to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
I meant not visually. I meant energy-wise. But I'm glad she found a forever home. I always feel really bad. My dream is to, when I own a house, if I own a house, Jesus, it's so expensive. If I ever own a house, I want to get we already have a golden retriever, but I want to get a rescue dog as well. So the golden retriever can calm the rescue dog.
Oh no, my coins!
By the way, you're cutting off a little bit. Do you want to maybe check on Discord the voice, like that thing where it's auto picks up when you're speaking, and maybe lower it just a little bit, because I believe the beginning of your sentences are a little bit cut off.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Do you know what that is?
Okay, there's the input sensitivity.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, it's set to automatic.
I see. That's why. Because it's a little bit. It cuts off a little bit.
Okay.
I can still kind of get the gist, but yeah.
Oh.
I think.
Great googly boogly.
You got googly eyes.
Yay!
Oogly boogly.
Thank you for the egg and for the head pats. Okay, is this better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
I've put up a redeem of like a bunch of hats, and I think I made a mistake because I made a hat roulette of at least 57 different hats, and none of them fit right.
Oh no!
Because every time they get popped up, it's like a crooked hat, and then I have to pause. I have to go to VTube Studio. I have to fit it kind of properly, and then it's still bad.
Okay.
Yes, I know, he's very cute, Sam. But yeah, so you only have the cat, right, Lucy?
Yeah. Okay. And hi, Yuki. Also, I got a redeem tip for a healthy snack, so I'm gonna munch on a little pepper.
I hope not a spicy pepper. I hope a sweet pepper.
Yep, it's a sweet pepper.
Healthy snack. What are those?
Oh, let's see, turn Sylfania up a bit. Okay. This will gonna turn up the music too.
Yeah. Right. What was I gonna say?
I'll turn the music down a touch.
Yeah, we're still adjusting our tech. The first, y'all know, first 45 minutes is people adjusting their tech and their streaming quality and all that good stuff. Man, Gavin, I have to like censor myself real hard when I'm with you, because I know you're very pure and say so, and then there's me who's got a sailor's mouth, and I'm like, okay, you're about to say this expletive. Find an adjective quickly before the thought escapes you. It's a good exercise, actually, so thank you for that. So, I've noticed a lot of the games that you play on your channel are kind of like, I mean, the ones I've seen are either goblin related, which, I mean, yes, but also you do a lot of like building simulators, cleaning simulators, terraforming Mars, like Subnautica kind of stuff. Is this kind of the vibe you mostly go for? Do you enjoy these kind of, not open world, but like you got tasks, but you're kind of on your own and you have to like do things, make things, craft things?
I do like crafting and such. I mean, I was raised by dwarves.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know why, you know how we all say we're variety VTubers? Because you kind of have to. You're not really specified in one thing. But at the same time, like Danny, who is Danny, who's like my bestie, he's a variety VTuber. But what I know is mostly plays retro games. And, builds Gundams and stuff. Like, for you, you're also variety, but like I'd say a spectrum of your variety is skewered heavily towards like
simulation stuff.
I guess, yeah, simulation builder games. I mean, some of them aren't really simulation, like Subnautica, but they kind of are, aren't they? And I was wondering what I would be leaning towards. I think mine is a game where you can have multiple characters to thirst over, because I think
you and your husband does.
Me and my husband does. Like, it's Genshin, it's Honkai, it's the same thing with Baldur's Gate. Same thing with the Dragon Age, or Rogue Trader. Just give me something I can thirst over. But I think it's mostly that I'd say I like an interesting storyline, great voice acting, and definitely I play Subnautica and everything, but I can't really get into a game for hours where I'm just like, sandbox games. That was the word I was looking for.
Voice acting, you say?
Yes, good voice acting. But what I mean is like I don't really get into sandbox games that much. I can play it occasionally, but I guess I get too aimless. Even if you have like things to do, a to-do list, it just feels fair. Yeah, to me, like I need cutscenes to interrupt me in the middle of my
I do like story-based stuff too.
Yeah.
I was playing Skylanders not long ago. We'll have to do more of that. and I'm gonna work some more stuff in like that too. I am also playing Ni no Kuni, which
Oh
is
yeah, no, I've seen that. Yeah.
yeah.
It's on my long list of things to play. But it is there.
It's also a long game.
Mm.
Well,
Jeez.
most RPGs are
honestly,
pretty long.
Yeah, in the 3 years that I've been streaming, I have finished one game.
Oof,
One.
I finished several.
Yeah, I feel like because I think most of the time I either play Warcraft, which you don't finish, like it's just expansions
No,
every time.
I mean, people have been playing for well over a decade, and you
yeah, or like
you don't
Genshin
finish.
or Genshin and Honkai, which also you don't finish. So because I spend most of my time playing those, the actual time slots for games that I finish are very small. But also, I've started doing this like talk show thing, so it's even less time. Hey, listen, it just means I'm gonna have to stream until I'm dead. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
If I want to go through my library of games, I just have to stream forever. That's it.
Forever and ever.
Twitch will long be gone. I'll find a different platform and migrate there. That will long be gone, and I'll move to the next thing. It's just, I will be a permanent fixture.
Yep.
So, again, a little bit of a personal question. I ask this for every guest, though, so don't think I'm attacking you, bro. I'm just asking every guest. Do you recreationally read? By that I mean, I'm sorry, I don't respect. I don't respond people who read nonfiction, okay? Nonfiction is like help me books. That's not recreational reading. That is purposeful reading. You read nonfiction if you want to know a biography of somebody, or how to do something, or to teach yourself a skill. What I mean recreational is fiction. Pure and utter fantasy / sci-fi / fake characters, potentially in a fake world. Do you read books like that? And if you do, what's your favorite genre? And if you have a favorite author or a favorite book series?
I have been reading a little bit less, admittedly, especially since I started VTubing. It's been taking a lot more time than I thought, but I absolutely love fantasy, and yeah. I mean, Goblin here. Where do you think I came from?
Hey, you know, not to throw shade. But you do find people who are into VTubing, people who make themselves a demon, a jackrabbit, an elf, or whatever, and then you ask them, hey, do you actually enjoy reading fantasy? And they're like, no. They possibly just like watching anime, or like playing video games, but not actually reading classic like fantasy books.
Yep.
So yeah.
So got a lot of R.A. Salvatore, as you know, all the Dritz books.
Yeah.
Got
The coolest man.
Aragon series. Also have a lot of the Terry Brooks stuff. So
Ooh, Terry Brooks. I think I have some Terry Brooks on my list to read.
Yeah.
But I might own some, because fun story, again, digressing. In my uni years, I volunteered at Oxfam, which is like a charity shop here in the UK. And there were many things you could do to volunteer. Like, you could be on the cashier side, you could be organizing like the donations, and a lot of people donate clothes in the UK. That's very common, of like people just and they're not even like old clothes. They're just like, they wear them for a little bit, they get bored, they donate them, then go to a charity shop, get new ones for like $5. It's a very big culture in the UK. So that was like the biggest thing you could do. But this particular Oxfam had a little library. And guess who volunteered to alphabetize this library, to make like bookends by author? I did. Even the Oxfam personnel were like, you don't have to do this, just put them on the shelves. I'm like, no, we're a respectable establishment. I'm not gonna do this. That was a bad thing, because a lot of the time I'm sorting through these books. Each one of them was only £1, which I think is like $2. I don't know what the exchange rate now is, but anyway, it was very cheap. And I'm sorting through these books, and then I find a full collection of Philippa Gregory's books, and I'm like, should I? You know what? I'm not even gonna put those on the shelves. I'm just gonna buy them. And so I left £5 on the register, bought them, and went home with them. So I still have so many now. So I think I have some Terry What did you say was
Terry Brooks?
Yeah, I think I do. What was the series? Like his most famous
The
series?
Shannara series, mostly.
Yeah. Do you remember that Shannara TV show that came out
I do.
in the early 2000s?
It kind of gave the spin away super early, what
Yeah,
with the
'cause it was
visuals
like-
and whatnot. But it's like when you're reading the
Yeah.
books, you can't tell it's a post-apocalyptic world until much
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. I was watching it. I think was it episode 4 or 5 when was she an elf or half orc? I don't remember. It's been so long ago since I've seen the Shannara series. I think it's because at the time I was really starving for some fantasy. And okay,
Yeah.
not to put shade, the series, I think the acting could have been better. It wasn't
Yeah.
the best.
Al-Anon
they
was
got
great.
yelled at, yeah. Sorry?
Al-Anon was great.
Yeah, but you know, you can't. It's like you can't have one character that's great and the
Yeah.
rest are mid. Even they can try to carry the show, but nevertheless, it always collapses. But yeah, I feel like did it get discontinued? Because I remember there were like 2 seasons and then it stopped or something. Went off the radar.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it recently. So it might have
'cause I
stopped.
think yeah, it's a bit. Sorry, we're talking about Shannara, so this is how it is. We just go on the brain train. It takes off the rails and it goes somewhere.
Choo choo.
Cool. So if you had to like say your top 3 books, what would they be?
Oh. Well,
I
there's
never
actually
give like
one
the
series
best
I
one,
didn't
because you can
mention
never
yet,
choose- yeah.
and that one might be on the pile. It's a young adult series, and I think Shrek might have actually had that as an influence. But it was called Talking or Calling on Dragons. And get this, one of the side characters was a talking donkey.
Huh. I have never heard of this young adult series.
Yeah, what it is it took one of the tropes of like princess being kidnapped by dragons and kind of flipped it around. The princess was all fed up with the court and stuff, and all these princesses just like,
Oh, princess, marry me.
it's just like, yeah, no. I gotta get away from all these suitors. So she went to a dragon and she's like, take me in. The dragon like, what? Huh? Huh?
Oh, so that's where the OG thing came through. Ah.
Yeah, it's princess went and just helped out a dragon, just like sorting out the horde and whatnot.
Great. What were they called again? Sorry, I'm just gonna put them on my list. to
Is
read.
by Patricia C. Reed. Oh, I gotta get rid of that. But yeah, Patricia
I
C.
get so
Reed.
many of these
It was
books as
called
well.
Calling on Dragons.
Oh, there you go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. I found it on Goodreads.
Cool.
Goodreads is a lifesaver. My favorite book series are, of course, have to do with fantasy. Sci-fi, I don't know. I can watch TV shows with sci-fi. I find reading sci-fi, maybe it's because I do science on a daily basis. I'm so fed up with it that when I'm reading, I'm like, I don't want to read this. I need to read a paper about like all of these stupid experiments. I don't want to have to do this in my free time. But if I'm watching like a sci-fi show, then yeah, because it's more visual.
Like the Einstein-Rosengate Bridge. Like, well, what is that? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it's like, ugh. But my favorite, I love like young adult romantasy kind of vibe. Like if I can read a book with no romance in it, but it's been a long time since I've read one.
Romance?
And most of the romance I read is never like straight. It's always LGBTQ. Because I just find they're written better. I find like a lot of the time, like there's so much overhype of like straight romance in romantasies. It's like romance fantasies, where the rules of the fantasy, unlike traditional fantasy books where you have to establish how does your magic work, how do your magical creatures work, how does the politics work in this world, you know, your Lord of the Rings, and you know, your where it has its own system that you need to learn and immerse yourself in the world. Romantasy, it's more like, yeah, there's dragons and there's magic, don't question it, it's fine. The focus is the romance, okay? Sure, it works. Just let it be. It's cool. It's the rule of cool. I mean, there's quite a lot of these, especially in, I would say, like, it's the manga rule or like the webcomic rule. But surprisingly, there are a few authors which do their homework. And this is how you know, like, if you find yourself a historical romance writer. Because that kind of stuff, unlike romantasy, you can't just say, there is this lady who is about to get married to this evil earl, or, you know, she got sold off to this Duke of the North, you know, who's always dark-haired and broody, of course.
They should stop dating earls. They should go for Bob.
Yeah, they should go for Bob. Earl is not a good name. But basically, like, that is the most, I think, at least in web novels, that...
Whoop! We'll see you!
Bye! Yeah, it's like eat redeem. It's
yeah,
okay.
I need to work on that.
Thank you, Evan.
I saw that Danny had actually done a tutorial on it.
Yeah, it's a good tutorial. But so he helped me set it up. He taught me how to do it, and now
I kind of figured
Evan and the rest are now bullying me with this redeem. I put a timeline on this so I don't keep eating myself. Yeah. So the whole point of, like, you know, it's a plot of so many novels where, like, the main character is so sad because she gets either sold off or has to marry a Duke of the North, or he was the villain in the book, and then she realizes, oh, he's actually great, he's just bad at communicating because he's autistic. That's basically the plot of all the books, and I'm like,
I mean,
well,
that kind of
hey.
started as far back as Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but I'm like, listen, if it works, it works. Don't break the system. However, historical writers, now there are some really bad ones, and those, you can tell they did not do their homework. It's when, like, I would say it's the people who wrote Bridgerton, and you're like, that is not what would have happened or what they would have said during Edwardian England, okay? But writers who, one person I can say is Diana Gabaldon is the author of Outlander. That woman takes 5 years or 6 years to write a book because she goes through all of the old letters and files in original, like, archives.
Yeah, you gotta do the research.
Yeah, no, she does so much research. I'm sure, I think she was gifted, like, an honorary degree in like, history. I'm like, yeah, she should be, because the amount of research she's done is, like, worth 5 PhDs.
That's what gets me with some people. It's like, oh, you gotta do smithing? Well, I need some steel ore. And you're like, you mean iron ore? He's like, no, steel ore. He's like, there's no such thing as steel ore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, you make steel from iron, is a thing.
Yeah, I did know that. But isn't there, like, so if you want to make, for example, a steel sword for some reason, but if you want to make one, right? You have to get iron ore, and then you have to get, what else do you need? You can't just get, like,
you need carbon, typically by way of coal.
So you can't get, like, pre-made steel ingots. You have to make your own.
I mean, well, as you could make steel ingots, but you pretty much have to mix the iron and the carbon together. And it's not as much carbon as people think. Like, games like RuneScape, it's like, oh, you need 2 things of coal per, like, 1 thing of iron. It's like, that is so much carbon. Steel, good steel, is only like 2% carbon.
Oh, really? That little?
Yeah, that low. I mean, you could go higher.
You should advise on crafting games.
Right? I mean, I've been trying to, like, work on a good crafting system. There's so many games that crafting is so bad.
But I find, like, they've at least my experience, right? I'm a complete zero at any of handcrafting things, apart from cooking. I feel like cooking isn't the thing, like, I do most often, and I find this, but cooking is doesn't need to be that precise. I mean, it's very, like, most of the time, it's fine. Like, when you're cooking, you're like, I'm lacking I'm lacking the exact amount of milk I need. Actually, I don't have any milk, but I have some sour cream. You're like, yeah, I'll be fine. Most of the time,
sometimes substituting
it'll
is
be
fine.
It's fine. You'll be okay. But I mean, like, some things like chemistry and I guess smithing maybe. It's like, well, no, you kind of need to get the ratios right or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But I find like in Warcraft, they've changed the crafting system. And like, anytime the crafting system in a game changes, I just panic. I'm like, what do you mean? I've just gotten used to this. Like, don't make it too difficult for me. I'm not here professionally. I just want this stupid sword so I can go in the stupid dungeon and so I can kill the stupid dragon. Can you leave me be?
With a lot of the crafting stuff, it's like it could be very involved, but I still want to leave a lot of stuff in the back end so that you don't have too much pressure on the players.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I find if you have a game, I find games like sandbox games, they need to have a good crafting system, okay?
Yeah.
They definitely do. Games like Warcraft, where that's not the it is not the main focus of the game. That is like a side mini game. That's when it needs to be very simplified because that's not the crux of it.
Now, if you're running just strictly a like blacksmith simulator, sure, then go all out on that. Get involved and stuff, but sometimes you do need to dumb it down, but just don't do absolutely incorrect stuff. Yeah.
So, a fun story that I don't know if you were aware of it, but there was this, I've gotten this meme from, either from Danny or Gabe, from one of the, my friends and regulars on this channel.
Yeah.
They sent me, I don't know what game it is, but there is a game, and it's like one of those 18 plus kind of games.
Oh,
that was supposed to be like you and this hot girl get stranded on an island and you have to survive. It's just you and her, and she's all helpless and Japanese and you have to help her. Yeah, it's a Japanese game. But the idea is a lot of people started playing it not because of the story.
Oh, I think I heard of this!
But because the crafting was so good, to the point where some of them locked up the girl because she was just in the way.
Like, put her behind a wall.
Yeah, so she kept being like, oh, pay attention to me, oh, let's hang out. And it's like, woman, I am crafting. Leave me be. And so that just reminded me of, like, if you have a good crafting... So I think in that game, what happened? The devs were like, okay, crafting games don't sell. We got Minecraft, we got all of this. This is gonna, like, take up all of the money. We need to go, sex sells, let's go with this. And, the board of directors said sex sells, but the actual developers were like, I've always wanted to make a good survival crafting game. All right, you know what? This is my chance.
Yeah.
And they just went for it. I love that. Yeah, I mean, that's, even my boyfriend was just like, yo, you know what kind of game this is? Because he genuinely really loves, like, crafting games, and he's into, like, zombie survival. He loves Frostpunk. He loves those kind of management,
Probably like 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, I think he plays that as well, but I think he mostly prefers the ones where you, like, you can put a pause and then you can, like, skip some time. You know, it's more like Civ, more like, those kind of games where it's like a living, breathing, multi-system world.
I can't play most of those games on stream.
Yeah, he indulges most of his tism this way, because his main job is very people-centric. It's very, like, extroverted, social, kind of marketing sort of thing. And so I find he himself has the soul of a scientist, but he did the smart thing. He didn't go get a science degree. He went and got a business degree. And so now he has a well-paid job, and he satisfies his morbid, like, insane need for mental stimulation with these complicated games and watching, like, and reading about sci-fi and stuff.
Oh, yes,
I should
speaking of complicated games, Oxygen not included. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that one. What is that?
A lot of people just get absolutely overwhelmed. It's just like, wait, you mean I gotta deal with this and this and this and this and those and these and that?
Yeah. I'll ask if Sam, if he's actually plays this, because I think he might like that kind of stuff.
But yeah, I gotta worry about the electricity grid. You can't have too much power flowing through, like, one line.
That's what it's called. Oxygen isn't included.
Yeah, that's right. It's not included. You gotta develop your own oxygen.
Crazy.
But yeah,
I'll ask if he's into it. Yeah.
Because
I think he was
electric
with
grid,
him, like, he gets
plumbing. the temperature.
Yeah, he gets obsessed. He gets obsessed with the game, and then he plays it for like 9 hours a day during work. Because like most of his work is like he has to sit in boring meetings and then chime in for a minute, but he has to sit there for 2 hours of people yapping about stuff he was already done, already knows. Like I wouldn't be able to do his job. I would KMS honestly. My brain. I require constant stimulation, and that kind of job would kill me. But because he works from home, he just puts this game on mute in the back, and just not streaming it. He doesn't stream. He just plays it, and then he plays. I think when Frostpunk 2 came out, he played it for, I believe, 9 hours a day for like 3 weeks.
Frostpunk.
Played all the modes. Yeah, because I think it's like was it Frostpunk? It's when you're like in a little town and you have to survive a freezing environment, and you have to it's like. Yeah, Frostpunk 2, yeah, that's the one. So it's the game where you're basically building a town in the middle of a frosty, like, England's being covered by ice, everything is dead. You're in Victorian England and you have to keep the town alive. And you make decisions for like, right, children, to the mines!
Oh dear!
This kind of... Yeah, this kind of stuff. But it is like a city management, but with a lot of environmental difficulties and a lot of like political maneuvering you have to do. And so like Frostpunk has a beautiful soundtrack. Great graphics and everything. But like that game, I believe I've seen him play for 3 weeks straight for 9 hours every single day, and then he just stopped because he plays the crap out of a game and then never touches it again. I'm not like that. I like gaming too much to the point where if I find I'm starting to get bored of a game, I'm like, yeah, that's Frostpunk, that's what I mean. I'm gonna play a different one. And then I'm gonna come back to this one when I've forgotten how much over hyped I was and say, oh my god, I forgot how great this game is. Like, I induce nostalgia in myself. And it works.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did kind of leave Oxygen not included for quite a while. It's like, I'll get back into it after I do some off-stream stuff because it's like a lot of busy work that could be entertaining. Months later.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, where was I now? What was I doing?
Yeah, but I find it's actually quite fun going back to a game and then being like, wait, what are the controls? I forgot the controls.
It's like you're playing for the first time.
Yeah, but it's also that it just feels really nice. So I think I told you this before. I have really bad decision fatigue. I'm so bad at making decisions. So I just make myself a wheel, and then I spin the wheel every Sunday and it tells me what I'm gonna do the next week. And if the wheel says we're playing a new game, we're playing a new game. If the wheel says we're going back to Baldur's Gate, we're going back to Baldur's Gate. You know what I mean?
I still only have Baldur's Gate 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, I have those too. I haven't played them, but I have them. But Baldur's Gate 3 is like a completely different story. That's like...
Oh, yeah. Completely new characters.
Yeah. I think the only game I actually play off-screen would be Warcraft, but I haven't really played off-stream anything for a long time because I'm, when you have a... Mine is not really 9 to 5, but when you have like full-time job,
yeah,
you have to spend an hour in travel. You're the only one that cooks because your partner knows how to cook, but there's only so much spag I can eat, and only so much fajitas I can eat. Sometimes my taste buds require, I don't know, a gochujang rice bowl, or I don't know, a beef lasagna or something. Like I need some freshness, and so I don't trust him with those kind of techniques. It's mostly because a few times I asked him to cook some rice, and I have a rice cooker, and I showed him how to use it. You pour it in, put some water in, turn it on, wait until like most of the water is boiled off the top, then you close the lid and you leave it. It's fine.
And then it goes.
He managed to burn. He managed to burn the rice somehow, and I was like, you know what, buddy?
In a rice cooker?
Yeah, and I was like, honey, I love you, but don't touch my kitchen.
Oh dear.
Don't touch it. I mean, some days when I'm really tired, like I've had a really exhausting week at work, I'll be like, yo, listen, let's just buy stuff for Spag Bowl and you make it. Or he makes pretty good fajitas. I'm gonna say this: he makes good fajitas. He makes good Spag Bowl. He makes an amazing steak. Whenever we have to like fry a steak, I leave it to him. But
I don't know what it is, but it seems like people who have like more testosterone just like know how to grill a good steak.
It's not even that. Like, I don't know how to grill a good steak, but I'm the one that does all of the like bird in the oven.
Yeah.
I'm the one that does roasts. Like, I have an instinct and a knack. I've never had a dry roast. Never. Never anybody came to whatever Christmas dinner and said, the chicken's a bit dry or the chicken's a bit undercooked. Everybody who's ever had any kind of chicken or duck or bird I've cooked, we're always like, are you a witch? Because there's no way this just came out of the oven in 2 hours. And I said, you did. Because I am a witch.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my one skill. You know when you live in a house full of people and you're just like, right, so for a celebratory dinner, we're all gonna split and everybody's gonna do a different thing. I always volunteer to do like the big bird or the turkey or the duck. There's a few like trade secrets.
Oh, I bet Mr. Snuffleupagus didn't like that.
Yeah, well, he's gonna deal with it because he was delicious. Yeah, I feel like there's a few secrets that I kind of worked out over the years of doing like roast dinners with my mom, to the point where they're not actually like, it's not rocket science. It's only like 2-3 little tricks you do, but they guarantee a great outcome every time.
And now to explain rocket science.
Oh God. Aw.
Actually, I legit went to a friend who has a brother who has been working on one of NASA's shuttles.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I was doing some research that way. Is like, what if you like do this? It used to use like aerogel and stuff for insulation and like that. You're like, oh yes, this is quite sound, yes.
You know, it's like when somebody comes to me and asks, I guess I don't really have a useful technique that I know, but if somebody's like, hey, listen, I need to clone this gene in bacteria. Is this how I do it? And most of the time I'm like, no. Honestly, all you need is 2 days and this kid from this company. You're done. And these two web programs. You're done. You can clone anything into anything. Don't ask me how. It's magic. But it works.
Hey, magic.
But this is why I feel like the thing, it's like occupational hazard. It's when you watch, I think modern films and modern TV series have gotten much better at this, I think, because people started bashing them real hard on like social media. But older series from the early 2000s and the 90s, anything that has to do with genetics or a virus that's killing people and they need to make a vaccine real quick, the frustration I get with that. Because like, we all know we need to suspend our disbelief. This is a fantasy thing.
Sometimes,
like,
yeah.
Sure, okay. But like, it's so bad that like, I can't help. I feel like once you know how long it actually takes and what are the steps you need to take, it just feels disrespectful to people who do it all the time.
Oh, I know.
I'm like,
this
what
one
do you mean
guy,
you made
he worked with security systems. Are you watching a James Bond film? He's like, okay, so I know this camera right here. You see how he unplugged that one thing? All he did was unplug the audio. The camera is still seeing absolutely everything he does.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, that's what I mean. It's the occupational hazard of you can't ever enjoy these films, even if you force yourself to like, okay, just don't look at it. Because I think the worst offender was one of, was it a CSI or like some sort of
Hawaii 5-0, I bet.
Sorry?
Hawaii 5-0?
Maybe. It was like, I think I've seen a meme. I haven't actually seen the episode, but it was one where, I mostly like watching medical dramas. I don't know why. It's a thing. Both of my parents are surgeons, and I think I would have had enough medical drama in my life, but no, I like watching medical dramas. I think it might have been, I don't know where, but like in one episode of like maybe it was Grey's Anatomy or something. In one episode, like they found like this rare, either Zika virus or like some sort of a really contagious virus in one of the patients, and they had to like isolate a half of the hospital. Of course, like the main story of these hospital dramas is never the actual patients. It's always the doctor's drama. So like there's one doctor that was treating him had to be stuck there, and her lover was like, no, I can't get to her. That was the episode. It doesn't matter. The most important point is they've isolated like they've gotten his blood, and she like passed the blood along for them to analyze, and they like isolated the virus, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that is doable, kind of, maybe like a day or two. Okay, you can do that. That is possible. And then what pissed me off is how they found the antidote or like they call it a vaccine, but it's not a vaccine. Vaccine is an attenuated strain, so you never use a vaccine to cure anything. A vaccine is a preventive measure.
Yep.
That's it. And something that's a cure is called a drug. That's what a vaccine is, a preventive measure. But anyway, they called it a vaccine, and all they did was put his blood, this patient's blood, into like not even a proper centrifuge, but one of those like table centrifuge. You know, the one that have those like little tubes that go to the sides when it spins quickly, like the stuff you have in a high school. Like in one of those, they spun it around. They did some really cool. Yeah, really cool music and montage, and it separated because blood would separate at that speed. And then they like moved some things into a vial, and then they said, "There is the vaccine." I'm like,
Nah.
the anger, the seething, the absolute rage I felt, because I've worked for a company, and to go from understanding how the disease works, you hope and pray that poor, impoverished academics have had enough grant money somewhere in some university that speaks English to publish all of the work that makes you understand how a particular virus, bacteria, drug, whatever works. Once you have somebody who's done this research, you better hope that they did it correctly, because you can't trust half of the stuff that comes from China, not because they're incompetent, but because their publishing system is so rigorous. They will rush you to say you only have 2 years to publish, and you kind of have to make up the results, because there's no way you can get these results in 2 years. So you can't trust half of what comes out of the Chinese papers, and so you have to look around and hope to God somebody has this. And when they do, you're gonna spend at least 6 to 7 months trying to like understand how to purify something. And that's not even the drug that you need to find. And then you need to hope that the compounds, that the chemists in your company have created compounds that you then, through, honestly, I shit you not. Sorry again for the swearing. But I shit you not. Through a random process. So this is called screening, drug screening. So you have the thing you've isolated that you're like, right, if I make this thing inactive, the disease will stop or slow down or something. This is what I'm looking for. I need to knock out this one particular piece of this machine. And then you have thousands upon thousands of chemical compounds your company has IP over, and then this one person, which is what my job was at that company, was take those thousands and thousands of compounds and then run like tests on them, and then whichever one of them looks like it's working, then I can start maybe in a few years make a drug out of that. That is how long it takes. And when somebody just shows up in a freaking hospital, spins something in a tabletop centrifuge, and then says, "I found a vaccine," I want to slap people. I'm like, this is just
it takes so much longer. And I'm not even a biologist.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's not even that. Like, that level of negligence is just simply disrespectful to the amount of effort, the amount of people, the tireless work and ingenuity of scientists that it takes to develop this kind of thing usually. You can do this if you're making a sci-fi series in like year, 3000, and then it's not a tabletop centrifuge.
You can just make up your own technology.
Sure. If you do that, then of course you can do something that takes a day. But if it's set in modern day, nah, sir. Nah.
Yeah.
Don't do
I don't think a lot of these writers have actually picked up like any medical journals.
But to be fair, I'm gonna say this one thing. To modern TV series, especially, this is a good comment. I have seen quite a few sci-fi movies that were like based in the 60s, and one TV series, I don't know if you like sci-fi very much, but it's called For All Mankind.
Okay.
It is so good because the premise is, what if the Soviets were the first on the moon and not Americans? Not NASA, but the Soviet program.
Okay.
Because that's basically was one of the nails in the coffin. There was a coffin of the Soviet Union, but that was one of the nails of the fact that there was a space race and then America won. And then nobody wanted to fund the space race anymore. There was no point in trying to show off in front of each other, So, both programs kind of died off a little bit, and the countries focused on other things like war.
Yeah.
Other
but that's
things.
kind of silly. It's just like, I want to do this great achievement, but it's absolutely meaningless if we aren't first.
Yeah, so it was that crap. But the idea is, it stopped because America won definitively, Russians had the first man in space, and Russians had the first woman in space, and the first dog in space, but America was the first man on the moon. And so that's it. There was no point for a space race anymore. But in this TV show, the Soviets had the first man on the moon. And so America just simply had to have the first base on the moon, and then they had the first man on Mars, and it escalated. And so the entire series is based off what would happen if the space race continued.
Oh
and
my
it's actually
God.
really good because they went away from I guess electronics more into nuclear technology. Like Chernobyl never happened, and it's really interesting for me as a person who had my grandma who was raised during the space race era, and the entire like her Soviet Union ideas, and also like had my boyfriend whose father was raised in the UK during this time, and having like these two perspectives and being able to observe the what if kind of thing. I would highly recommend, because that show actually, I mean, season 3 is full sci-fi because by that point they've developed warp technology, but like season 1 and 2 are genuinely good real science with the hypothetical of what if, and
Yeah.
also has a lot of
And
politics.
I could actually see
and
the
all that.
U.S. just spitefully, like, well, we need to go to Mars first or something.
Yeah,
I could actually see that.
But all of the spite is what developed technology. And,
Yeah.
you know, and you're just sitting there, and there's of course a lot more interesting drama. And by season 4, like, it just goes a bit crazy, but it's like it's genuinely good drama and good sci-fi. I can highly
That's
recommend
good. And they draw from like hard science and stuff. Sounds like.
Yeah, they have to. And I find like this is what's, because obviously they started it, like, it's easier because they started it in the 60s. So they were like, we have a very heavy record of what science was like around 60s and 70s. So they, and also we know we have a good record of science today, so we can kind of project what would have happened. So that's what I mean. Like the series nowadays are much better at this. And I also say the historical series nowadays are much better at this. Because, especially costuming. My God, is costuming better? Because my other hobby, Gavin, is on YouTube. I find myself some people who like to critique historical costumes in TV series and movies and explain how they can sew them at home. And they explain like, oh, this is not how corsets were worn. This is in the museum. This is the evidence. This is how you make it. And this is how I made it at home with that, hand sewing machine. It did take me 2 weeks, but that's what it's supposed to look like. And once you see those YouTubers, and then you watch a TV show, you're like, that YouTuber did this for $20. It did take them 3 weeks, but they did it for $20. Like, I don't understand why these multi-million studios can't afford that. But there's actually a good reason. I think it's because nowadays everything needs to be done now. You need to have an entire season, you need to have multiple costumes, and usually your costume department only has a certain amount of budget, and you would hire like 20 people, and each one of them make me 10 costumes in a week.
And then someone just
happens,
like, oh, well, why would I want to do that when I could just like make some embellishments and...
Honestly, it's not even that. A lot of costumers now are experts, and they would love to make good costuming. Like the Nosferatu, that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Costumes actually taken from the Dutch, like that time in Denmark. Exactly. Cool. Like based off of museum pieces, So and the silhouettes are good and the padding is good. However, even then there are some inconsistencies, and you can see like the people knew what they were doing. Unfortunately, as I said, they would have one person make 10 outfits in a week. And I just mentioned somebody made a corset in 3 weeks. Like, if they only had the time to work on it, I'm sure the majority of costumers would be like, yes, I'll do it properly. I think it's probably the problem of the early 2000s, and there is one particular TV show that is two TV shows that are extreme offenders that everybody puts as like the worst costuming ever. The Tudors and was it Rain? I think it was Rain. Those
Never heard of Rain, but I've heard of the Tudors.
They were bad. They were so bad. The hair, the makeup, the outfits, everything was horrendous. It was something like, Halloween costumes. You can go into like a shop and buy like a $5 outfit of a pilgrim that is all one piece that zips up in the back. It looked like that.
No.
I mean, it wasn't. It looked like, oh, look, this is a costume. And back in the early 2000s when I've seen Tudors, I was like, oh, this looks good. And then when I actually went to a museum and saw the pieces, I was like, no. What do you mean she put a corset on without the shift, like without the undergarments? That would chafe.
Oh.
Wait. Like, that's the first thing. To you is one thing I can tell, Gavin, and to your viewers. The one thing when you know that a TV show is really bad historically is if the woman is wearing a corset on her bare skin. Yeah, run away. Turn the TV show off and run away, because the whole point was, the reason why people had shifts, right? It was made of cotton. They had like 10 of them. They were cheap to make. They're like nightgowns, right? You wore them under your clothes so that whenever you sweat and, do anything, those catch all of the particles. And your outside clothes, which were hella expensive and took people months to make, and usually people owned only 5 or 6, even nobles, and they would change according to like the fashion and the weight. They would take the same fabric and change it multiple times because making fabric was super expensive. But the inside cotton bit, yeah, you could just make a million of it. So that dress would not be dirty, but the inside cotton could be changed every day. That's the point. And that's why they put the corset was basically that time's brassiere. And it's actually super comfortable once you get a good corset that fits you. It's really good back support. It's amazing. You're not supposed to lace it super tight.
Oh,
that's not the point.
There's a lot of similar sins when it comes to armor. It's like, people put armor on the bare skin. It's just like, yeah, put that chainmail on there, and then your hairs get tangled in the chain. It's like, no.
Or like the worst offenders I find is, unfortunately, the show Vikings, is when they have this like really harsh leather just on their skin. I'm like, do you know how much that would chafe? My God. They either have to be oiled up 24/7 so it doesn't chafe, or that's not leather, but it looks like leather.
Oiled up Vikings, you say?
I mean, I get it. Like, at this point, just have them be half naked, because the amount of leather just on bare skin, like not even on linen or cotton, was giving me secondhand chafe. Nope. Just nope. But yeah, and I feel like it's not even that hard. Like, some people are like, oh, but like, we have to do research. I'm like, no, go to your local museum. Yeah. Go to your local museum. But I mean, I understand in America it's hard. Your history is like, what, 150 years old? Whatever, you don't have armor.
And then you have all the people, it's just like, well, if I ever need to know something, I'll just ask AI. It's like, no, just go get that knowledge now. Otherwise, you won't even know what to look for.
It's not even that. Like, I mean, living in the UK, like living in Russia at first, and then in the UK next, or any country I go to visit, my first stop on any of my tours isn't the tourist traps. Go to your local museum. Not even the national. I mean, if you're in the capital, go to your national museum. If you're in a small town, go to a local museum. Because as you go through the local museum, usually they have the history of the town you're in, and usually they tell you the big landmarks of the town. And before you go see the landmark, they explain why this landmark is important. And you spend a day in this museum. You're like, great, I've seen a lot of stuff. Maybe talk to the locals. The locals love to talk about their town. And then the next 2-3 days that you're staying in that place, you can go and see things now with the knowledge of what you need to know. So many times I've gone somewhere and then I had my friends who didn't go to the museum with me be like, oh, look at this tower. It looks really cool. I'm like, did you know this tower was built by this guy in this year? And they were like, are you a tour guide? I'm like, no, I literally just went to a museum yesterday. That's how I know this. And if you need like any more details, you could of course Google them. But like at least knowing what something's called and knowing what year it's
tell you
built in.
very important details. Like earlier this year, I went on a tour to a mine, and someone's like, "Well, why didn't they just use torches?" Because the dust in the mine would, explode.
Yep. Wait, so I was wondering, because I know, like, at least in the UK, the mining industry was never with coal. It was, I mean, they had coal mining, but a lot of it was like copper mines in other places. If you would like to know about 18th century coal mining, watch the TV series Pole Dark. It's actually quite good. I'm just plugging TV series here. But it is like good costuming, good storyline, a good copper mining drama for some reason. It's set straight after the Revolutionary War in America, but based off in the UK. But yeah, like, I've never actually understood, because like you didn't have flashlights, so how would they see where they're, like, what would they use? Because you can't have open flame. What would they use in the mines?
Yeah. In the one I went to. Oh, that's horrible, Fates. Yikes. But in this one, they showed off a pretty cool chemical lamp. And I forget what sort of crystalline stuff that they put in there, but then they would just add water to it, and then there would be a reaction, and it would all take place inside this one chamber. So, you know,
Oh, no exposure.
yeah, no exposure to
Cool.
the mine air.
No, and then
whatnot.
but like how long ago was that? Which century?
I think this was either 18th or 19th century, probably 19th.
Okay. Yeah, like the Renaissance of mining, basically.
Yeah.
Fun fact, a lot of people were asking questions like, Egyptian tombs, right? How did they paint them and do the hieroglyphs on them? And they're like, a lot of, especially pseudo-archaeology, my god, a lot of people are like, yes, ancient Egyptians had electricity, they had lamps. And then literally there is somebody who's like, there is a technique that is still used in Egypt to this day when you don't have flashlights, where they have oil lamps.
Yep.
It's like one of those genie lamps that you basically have a wick on one side and it just burns through oil so you can see. And it burns for a long time. It doesn't really leave soot or residue because it's clean burn.
Yeah.
Right? Especially olive oil. And it lasts for hours, right? And another thing is, most of the walls that they did the walls first with an open ceiling. So they would build the walls, paint,
They still had
do the hieroglyphs.
the clean air come in. Yeah.
Yeah. Do the hieroglyphs, paint them, and see what color they are properly, right?
Yeah.
And then they would do the ceiling separately, and then they'd place it on top already made. I was like, that's how they did
There's
it.
so many people it's
Bro.
just like,
We have to do all this modern thinking for all this ancient technology.
it's like, no.
Bro, I find it's a lot more fascinating to find or somebody looks at those temples in India and they say, there's no way, this is too precise of carving. People couldn't have carved this in a mountain. I'm like, but they did though. It took them 30 years, but they did.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do the same thing today. I mean, if you brought that laser back in time, they'd be like, oh my god, what we could have done in 30 years, you can do in 2. That's amazing. But that's it.
Oh, yeah.
It just saved us time. We know how to do this. It's just gonna take a while. And that was why a lot of these buildings and things are so beautiful, because one of the most beautiful cathedrals in the UK took, I think, 500 years to finish building.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was insane.
People just
Like,
don't
it just-
understand.
Took so long. I feel like, especially the younger people these days, they're so used to things happening quickly that you're like, do you know what 30 years is? That is used to be an entire lifetime. And 500 years, that is 6 generations of people working on the same project.
Yep.
You'd never have that shit today. It's crazy. I'm happy you agree.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, because I've had to do a lot of this research and stuff myself. It's like, and, even with a lot of the medieval stuff, it's like, oh yeah, Camelot would have been like this stone castle. It's like, no. The events of King Arthur happened such and such century, and they still used wooden structures. They didn't do stone castles until 600 years later or something.
Yeah. To be fair, one TV show that's actually pretty good historically, maybe not the outfits, but at least the buildings and the history, is The Last Kingdom. I found it to be quite good. And it's also really well paced. It's a good show. I'm rewatching it now. It's kind of about the unification of England, the first kings.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was watching, I was like, there's no way this drama is real. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh my god, this drama, it's so real. Because I was like, there's no way this king would do, this is too much drama. This sounds like a soap opera. And then I was reading the actual historical events and I'm like, nope, for real happened, okay. Cool, good to know. Again, not to spoil anything.
Sometimes reality is stranger than fiction.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was like, oh man, 90210 wishes this level of drama. But yeah, I would say in that show, it's really cool because a lot of the time, most of English buildings, by that point in time, are already built upon old Roman structures. Because the Romans showed up into the local Britons sitting on mud piles and saying, my rock pile. And then the Romans were like, yeah, no, we're gonna give you roads, buildings, clean water. And the Britons were like, no, we like our trees and I like our dirt. And the Romans said, hell to the no. And then Boudica and all that cool stuff happened. And then, you know, the Romans at some point were like, yeah, listen, this is a money sink. This would require too much terraforming. We don't have this amount of money or time. We're getting out of here. And so after they built like Londinium, they built the Hadrian's Wall because they were like, the Scots are crazy. Let's build a wall. We can't deal with them right now. We're just gonna build a wall to stop them from coming here. And then after they built all this cool stuff and all the roads, they just said, screw it, and then just left. And so the Britons, like, during the Middle Ages, I'd say from around 600th century up to 900s, they were like, okay, we're just gonna repurpose these, but I feel like the Romans they tried to teach the locals how to use them, but the locals never truly understood. So there's a lot of like Roman structures that are going into disrepair and are used for different purpose. And you're like, you do know that if you just did this, you could still use it for its original purpose, but you're just maybe too stupid to do it. And it's beautiful because in the show, you see these like Roman buildings that are just falling apart, but are still used for something. And then the entire rest of the city is just wooden huts. And you're like, oh, this hurts my heart. If only the Romans could see what was happening here.
Oh, no.
They would roll in their graves.
Yeah, history is so fascinating.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So much of it has been lost, too. It's like, Vikings, I do not know the years right now, but they were able to get this high-grade steel almost 1,000 years ahead of their time, and people don't know how they were able to do it. We still don't.
Yeah. I was always fascinated by the history of China mostly because first, I guess it was so different from Europe, right? Unless you watch Chinese drama and like historical TV series, you would never I'm watching Chinese historical TV series and I'm like, okay, they're living in these wooden houses or like wooden temples and places for a good reason because it's kind of hot and kind of dry. Like they and making things out of stone, they always made like mausoleums out of stone because they would bury them and close them off like the Egyptians did. All of the palaces and everything, they had a lot of timber. Let's just use wood. However, castle gates, we're gonna build them out of solid stone and we're gonna make them in a way that like I'm gonna put this here. The Chinese emperors knew very well how to siege a city and how to do a proper siege way before sieging was a thing anywhere else. Like the guys knew war. They were constantly at war. And every time I'm watching a TV show and I'm like, okay, yeah, the costumes, like the silk that's made, that's historically accurate, the political system, the writing, they had paper, all this is good. When did this take place? Probably around year 1000, right? Right around the same time like Europe, yeah? That's 40 AD. And I'm like, wait, what? Like Roman Empire time. I'm like, are you shitting me? Are you for real? Like they had like lanterns, like not electric, but like fire lanterns indoors. They had like crazy shit going on, and I'm like, they had takeaway. They had freaking takeaway. The entire city, nobody would cook at home because takeaway was so cheap. They would take away food. They had food delivery. They had nightlife. They had night festivals. Yeah. And then everybody would go to work the next morning. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is at least infrastructure-wise, ancient China was obviously on par with Rome. But like people always say, oh, Rome is like the infrastructure. Nation of antiquity. Because, we all love Egypt, but let's be honest, the infrastructure wasn't crazy. Yeah. And Greece as well. We all love Greece, but the infrastructure wasn't Rome level, like public toilets.
Greece was very hard to work anything on because, like, the ground is just, like, so rocky.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, I think it's on the logistics part of city management. Yeah. That was Rome's crown and glory of the ancient world. I mean, then, of course, the Byzantium, which is what came after Rome, and then the Ottoman Empire did a pretty good job, but all of that came after. I meant, like, the OG. Yep. And when you think about it, the Roman Empire, the crux of it was, like, I guess, late, like, 200 BC, 300 BC. That was, like, the big shining glory. Again, don't quote me on this, I'm not very good. But when you look at, like, China at the same time, you're like, yeah, they had that, plus more, plus they had paper, plus... Yeah. Like, I mean, they did have nobles and peasants couldn't read, but all the nobles could read. And then, like, there was a lot of those nobles, and there's a lot of political machinations, and there's a lot of, like... And China had to go through so many upheavals and wars, and, never had the same long dynasty going for... I think the longest dynasty was 600 years, and that's it. Yeah, and a lot of people just think that, all of this is just ancient history and such, but it's... Like, okay,
sure, it's ancient history, but it's like, when you look at things like, when you look at art, how much we've advanced in the past 100 years, it's like, okay, now go to this culture. They were ahead of all these other cultures in this area by like 600 years.
Because they didn't have globalization, which we have now.
Yeah.
But also, I also find like the speed at which things develop nowadays is ridiculous. Like you would have,
Oh,
like
yeah.
all I'm saying is look at the evolution of a phone. I've been rewatching. Okay, side rant. I've been rewatching Dawson's Creek. Don't ask. I've just been obsessed with James Van Der Beek for some reason lately, and I've been rewatching Dawson's Creek. Don't come at me. And it takes place at the end of the 90s, at the beginning of the 2000s, right? I was already born then, but I was a teeny weeny little baby. And I was watching this show and I'm like, why don't they just call someone? And I'm like, oh, they don't have phones. Like they don't have mobile phones.
Yep.
And it just hit me of like, I was born then and they don't have mobile phones.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, they need to do a homework. They have to go to a library. And I was like, why don't you just go? Oh.
Yep. Google didn't exist
Like,
then.
And no, but imagine if it's that much of a kind of, it's more of like what you know that it didn't exist, but it hits you suddenly because you're so used to it.
Yep.
Imagine younger kids nowadays who internet was always there for them. They just do not comprehend like
Nope.
any of it. And also now, like now that there's the age of AI, I think a lot of people don't really know of like you used to be able to do this without AI. It just took longer.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Dewey
all of this
Decimal
has
System?
happened.
What's that?
Yeah, within the same generation, within my lifetime.
Yeah.
Which is not the case for a lot of these ancient cultures. They would have something develop over 600 years and it would improve and develop and it would be their own like country's thing. And maybe like if one artisan who, especially Japan was a horrible person at this because it would have one artisan who would perfect something and then one day refuse to tell it to his student because the student was an idiot and it would be lost forever because he wouldn't write it down or tell anyone else. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you asshole.
Especially like when it comes to smithing. There are so many blacksmith secrets that were taken to the grave.
And you're just like,
Oh, and speaking,
You know-
I have to speak on this. When it comes to the Japanese smithing, everyone is going to be like, oh, the katana is so superior. It can cut through everything
not.
with their like folding technique.
It's not.
Do you know why they had to do the folding technique? Because
their
the
steel was
iron...
crap.
Yeah, the iron was crap. The iron was horrible. So they hammered it to help get rid of the impurities, to get it up to snuff.
But which is why I find the reason they say this is when you add Japanese craftsmanship with the good Western steel, which is what happened during the Westernization of Japan, that's when the katanas and the Japanese knives became just perfection. Because you have
Whoa.
these years of working with crap, and then you have somebody say, by the way, you don't have to work this hard, here's some pure iron, and they're just like, oh my god, okay.
Calm down, calm down.
It's like me when I had to spend. I remember the first time I had to do bacterial cloning. I used to use the Word document because cloning is like it's word editing. Bacteria, like DNA, is just words. Well, not words, it's letters, right? It's a letter code. And what you're doing is you're cutting bits of it and putting different bits in, and you can do it in a Word document.
Coins.
Yeah, so it's not that hard. But it takes a long time because you kind of, there's no way to check if it's working, and to check if it's working, you have to use I think I had to use 8 different software to change things into proteins to figure out if my tags were working. Anyway, long story. It took me usually 2 to 3 days to start cloning. And
Can
then
you clone me some Skittles?
I wish I could clone me some Skittles, but no, Skittles are just food coloring. But now, as a postdoc, that's like 10 years after I started, I was told by one of my coworkers, like, why are you using a Word document? I'm like, because that's how I've always done it. She's like, you know that there's this software where you can just upload this file and then click 2 buttons and tell them the method that you're going to do cloning with, and it simulates cloning to you, and you can see where the mistakes are if you've done it wrong. And I went, hold up. What do you mean? The software can do it for me. And the amount of like, I used to hate cloning, and now I'm like, cloning, that's 2 days work. I'm fine. Like 2 days with bench work. And most of the time it works. You're never wrong. And I'm like,
Oh, I love that
What do you mean?
repo
Cloning isn't hard.
emote.
that is a great emote, to be fair.
I need to play
it's
some more
ridiculous.
repo again.
Yeah. So I feel like Japanese steelmakers probably felt like I did. Of like, oh, I used to use just Word docs to do this complicated science thing, and then somebody was like, "There's a software for this," and you went,
No
That's
way!
actually very user friendly. I mean, no, you still have to know what you're doing. You still have to understand cloning. But I mean, for a person who used Word to do it, it's like, it saves me so much time.
Yeah, but it's amazing just like how much that they're able to figure out on their own. It's just like, who would seriously think, oh yeah, if I just beat this more, I'll knock out the impurities. It's like,
Nano, have you seen I've not really watched a lot of Japanese shows lately, but I did see Blue-Eyed Samurai on Netflix.
oh, I saw clips of that and it seemed fascinating.
Okay, so it's a little bit maybe not your alley because it's very gory. Oh my
I
god, is it
have
gory.
kind of seen that. Yeah, it's a bit violent, but
It's very violent. However, the animation is fantastic. It's a unique style, I think, of like, it has the smoothness of Arcane and that kind of uncanny 3D while being 2D enough to fit into like, it has its own art
Right?
style, I'd say. It's like when you say like Studio Ghibli has its own art style. When you see Ghibli, you're like, this is Ghibli. So the same thing with Blue-Eyed Samurai. Like you see it, you're like, okay, that's Blue-Eyed Samurai. You
it
see
is a
Arcane,
cool
you're like,
looking style.
that's Arcane style. And the storyline is fantastic. A little bit far-fetched, but it's still fantastic. And like one of the stories is like the main character's sword was made out of a meteorite.
Yeah.
Meteorite. That is the word. And the smith took a long time to figure out how to actually like do that. Like there was an entire few episodes of him like trying to use this meteorite to make a sword. And it was like, because it wasn't made out of regular Japanese iron, but used the same Japanese technique, it was like unbreakable in the show.
Yeah.
And like
Well,
super.
Also because with the meteoric metal, it was so much easier to get into like steel and such, so it would be a lot more higher quality. Because
Yeah, because there wouldn't be that many impurities, right?
I mean, it would still usually have a lot of nickel content in there too. But yeah, it was usually a lot stronger than a lot of the iron tools and weapons that they would have. Because yeah, before the Steel Age, yeah, the only way to have like good steel stuff was like from meteorite.
Yeah. Anyway, if you ever can get through the gore, it's good.
So definitely not something I can show on the channel.
Oh no! I watch it just for me. Like I'm waiting for season 2. It's been years now, but it's okay.
Ooh.
It's okay. I still have to rewatch Arcane. I've only seen season 1, and I heard season 2 is amazing. And
I saw the one clip of how the guy was able to hide like all these gun parts. I'm like, whoa.
Where, in Arcane or?
Not in the Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Oh yeah. Or the most famous one is the clip by this like red-haired Scottish guy who's explaining like, I was a hunter while he's like assembling a gun and shooting, and like apparently that's like, it's a good way to write a villain. To be fair, he was a great villain.
It looks like it.
Amazing villain, to the point where you like I think I'd say, digressing from that point to something I kind of want to discuss. These days, I find we are lacking good villains.
Yes!
So much of the time, the villains fall into 2 tropes. One of the tropes doesn't happen anymore. Is like, I'm evil because I'm evil, and screw everybody. Like what we had in old Disney. Like, I am petty. You didn't invite me to a birthday? Curse you and your daughter. Like, you know. And you know why I cursed her? Just because I'm evil. Like, I don't have any need to an excuse. That is the one thing that I find nowadays you will never find. You will never find a villain who's like, I'm just evil because I like it. Sometimes you do, and they're usually serial killers, but they're always like, but I'm just a tortured soul on the inside. You're like, no, just admit you're evil and go with it, God. And then we have like nowadays we're suffering from, oh, this person is evil only because the narrative has been written from someone else, like the Wicked series, like the musical and the movies. I've not seen the movies because I watched the musical twice, but like that whole thing, like Maleficent, that whole thing. Every villain you see is always like, if only at the time when I was a wee boy or a wee girl, I had someone who loved me, blah, blah, blah. This trauma didn't happen, I would not be evil. I miss people who are not psychopaths, not serial killers, people who are like, you know what? Being evil is profitable. I'm just gonna be evil. Like, what is there like, you know what? It's your definition of evil. I think
are there,
destroying
they just
a village,
go off the rails
like,
so easily, like with
like,
Jack
yeah, I think
Horner
destroying...
in the Puss in Boots sequel.
I don't think I've seen the Puss in Boots sequel. It's on my list to watch, but I don't think I've seen it.
But yeah, oh, Jack Horner is just kind of like one of those old school villains. He just unapologetically evil.
I love that. We just need that. And what we're missing though is also villains who are like, you know, I think destroying a village of 20,000 to be able to feed a country of 3 million sounds like a fair trade to me. And people who disagree, they're stupid. And you know what? I'm gonna do it. And I don't care what you think. You know, people like that are called tyrants. But like at the same time, you're like, you know what? I find it's the villain, not the one who you're like, oh no, he's angry just because he's emotionally repressed. I like the cold hard, like, statistically, your heroism is gonna kill more people. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help here. It's you with your naive ideas, like, oh no, boo-hoo, this many people are gonna die. I'm like, I'm trying to save humanity, bro. I don't have time for your shit. And I feel like those villains, there are a few good ones, but there's so little of them. And I mean, like, I need more. We need more.
They're hard to write at times for a lot of people.
Isn't like Dune? Like, doesn't that have like the main character who becomes the villain, who's like this, who's like, I guess nobody's okay, guess I'll do it. Like, nobody has the balls to do this, but this needs to be done. And okay, history will label.
I almost gave spoilers into some of my own stories. It's like, oh wait, no, you're not supposed to know that they become the villain.
Yeah. But I find like that's something that is, unfortunately, I mean, you do have a few, like, obviously there's always 1 or 2 books or TV series that has that. But I mean, on a major scale, we are sorely missing the amount. I mean, at least back in the day, there weren't that many of these, like, the villains that have a point. Like that genre has always been scarce. But at least the unapologetically evil ones, there was so much more of them before. Like, we're sorely lacking.
Yeah, but like one of those evil scientist things making their death lasers.
Yeah, like just have a scientist make a death laser and not do it because my mother doesn't love me. I'm like, I'm making a death laser because I can go zoom and then people are gone. Dude, that's cool. I just want to do that. Like, have somebody like this because you know that's scary. Because you can't reason with people like this. You can't redeem people like this. You can't save people like this. They're just unhinged. Like, you just have to deal with them. And that, I think, is scary.
Oh, but you know why is scary? Like, it's not for my Everine setting, just something completely out in left field, but I made this goddess character who went insane.
Oh, crazy gods. Perfect.
Yeah, but it's like they're now gods in this setting were like incorruptible. They don't change and whatnot. But what had happened to change her is that like the head god is like, okay, we need to have this revival, shake things up. Whatever you guys are doing isn't really working anymore. I'm gonna cast you all down. And they were basically mortals, and yeah, some of them died off. This one, she survived, but the trials left a mark. And she, her brain got so addled and stuff that she went crazy. That even when they were all reinstated as gods, she remained insane.
Yeah. I mean, I love that whole, like, gods are also fallible kind of vibe, because I'm, not to shamelessly plug, but I've been planning and started writing a web novel kind of a young adult.
Ooh.
I would say the vibe is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which started off really good. The first 3 seasons were amazing. And then it kind of went a bit, but even though the story was, to me, super fresh, super great at the time. And then, of course, there was Riverdale, which was just insane. It had no story. I think it just went crazy. So I think it's Chilling Adventures of Sabrina kind of meets Dawson's Creek meets Riverdale.
Is this a new Sabrina? Is like not the one from?
Yeah, the new Sabrina. No, the new Sabrina. The one that's really creepy. The one that's like
Oh,
gory
okay.
and bloody.
No,
and
I haven't
scary
seen that.
on
I
Netflix.
had seen the
It's-
old Sabrina, and I loved Salem there.
Yeah, old Sabrina was great. I loved it as well. But one thing I'm gonna say again, I have a type, okay? It's very gory. Very demon worshipy. But she's a witch. So yeah, my sort of web novel, I mean, do you mind if I
Plug
quickly
it, plug
spoil
it.
I'm gonna try to plug it, but it's a kind of a big spoiler, but one thing is it's inspired by like the pantheons of ancient gods. And not
Okay.
in just one country. And the idea is the rise of Christianity has caused eventual, the gods aren't dead, but they're there's no use to them anymore. So they lose personality and they degrade back to human in a way.
Oh.
That's the concept of gods, because of the amount of faith, they were created and they didn't have a flesh vessel because they are conceptual things, if enough people say, oh no, lightning's been created by this dude in the sky, oh great, Odin, the concept of Odin, like a group consciousness, turns into a deity with powers and
Okay,
stuff.
that's kind of
And
like
then,
how things happen in the warp in Warhammer.
Kind of, yeah, and they require a flesh body to be able to walk among people. And they're sometimes reborn into one person has the most affinity with a god, and then they're the consciousness of a deity. It's not like a god is possessing you, but you are so compatible that the way you think and the way you act in a certain situation is almost identical to how the god would act.
Oh.
So your consciousness is kind of
you
melded,
become.
do you know what I mean? Kind of. But the whole idea is back when the antiquity was a thing, before Christianity's rise, gods were prevalent and, they all knew about each other because, again, there were concepts, you could have Zeus and you could have Odin and it could be different people because different groups of people believe in them.
Yeah.
And some gods would get forgotten and then they would just disperse and die. When you don't have any more followers or people who believe in you, you're just gone. And so there was this whole concept with the advent of Christianity, how, and Islam as well, there were 3 big religions, and of course there's smaller ones who still believe in other ones, but the amount of how much people forget has caused these gods to decline. And that whole concept of gods are fallible too, and they're not mortal in a sense, but because they've been created through faith, they disappear with faith. I just thought that's kind of I mean, it's a bit of a spoiler, but it's wide enough without actually you don't know how this affects the story yet, but that's kind of what happened. And I find the idea of gods going crazy, I really believe in I really like the whole Lovecraftian thing of different dimensions, and our world, our gods were created in our dimension. What if there is a subspace somewhere with just true horrors that a human mind can't comprehend, and a god would go crazy in seeing? Have you thought of that? Have you thought of that? That kind of stuff. But yeah, I really get fascinated with this, I guess you know the word I'm looking for.
Anthropomorphizing?
That's the word. Of gods, making them a lot more human-like.
Making them furries?
Sure, making them furries. But no, it's giving human weaknesses and characteristics to them. That's why Greek gods
I
are
guess
still
I was just
super popular.
playing.
That's why Greek gods are super popular in pop culture, even nowadays, because unlike, I guess, modern religions where you have omnipotent, omniscient, non-human deities, those are more you can do better stories with those. You can't write a story, a new cool story about a god and be or about a Christian god and be yeah, he went into this battle with this thing. No, you can't. they're not like that, you know? It's not like this. You can do it with the prophets, you can do it with, like, you know, but they're still human, it's different. And then you
Whereas
have the Norse
Greek gods,
stories where
they are fallible, and they...
Yeah, so if you say, like, oh, there was a story, and then Zeus saw a maiden, you're like, yep, he's going for it. Like, immediately, you're like, I already know what Zeus is gonna do in this situation. He's not supposed to, but the guy's gonna do it. It's gonna do it, and then Hera is gonna get pissed off at this woman, and this poor woman is gonna be transformed into a cow or a tree or a boulder or some other thing. And you're like, yeah, I know these gods well enough to know what they're gonna do. And of course,
Zeus does all these other activities that I can't talk about on stream.
No. That's why I'm keeping it very PG.
Yeah.
What I kind of mean, like, it's not boring. It's when you have an omniscient and omnipresent and omnipowerful god. I mean, yeah, that is an ideal of God.
Just like, oh, yeah, I don't like what you're doing. Snap, fall down dead. It's like, oh, okay,
no,
well, I guess it's the fight against that god couldn't happen.
But no, it's not even that. Like, the Christian God and the belief in it, it's not like, I don't like what you're doing, bam, dead. It's, I am so detached that you can still do the bad things. You're just gonna be punished when you die. That's it. Like, I'm not gonna stop you, nor am I gonna help you. I'm just gonna judge you when you die. But you're like, you have free will. I am fully hands-off. It's a fully hands-off parent. While Greek gods feel like drunk aunts and uncles on Thanksgiving.
That's a good way to put it.
That show up to your house. And you sit there and you watch them and you're like, this is entertaining. I am terrified because they're all unhinged, but this is entertaining. That's kind of what it feels. Oh, you get a greeting.
Oh, Luna, hi! How are you doing?
Welcome, Raiders.
I'm not sure if your guest knows us or if you know my friend here. But yeah, why don't you introduce yourself?
Cool. I'm Sylfania. I'm a bilingual elven ranger variety VTuber. I stream mostly RPGs, I guess. And anything that has a husband or harem. I love that stuff. I also play RPGs, D&D on this channel, do some art sometimes, and every Friday we have a yap session with one of some other VTubers I like. You know, over the years I've met quite a few great people, and sometimes, you know, to sit down and like, I had no idea you were so much like into blacksmithing. I'm getting so many facts from this, you know? This is just great, you know?
Yeah, well, when trying to figure out the crafting system, is like, okay, what are some of the processes these people have to do? And so I fell into the rabbit hole. It's like, wow, this is a lot more involved than I thought. It's not just like,
at this amount of copper, at this amount of iron, bang, done.
Exactly. I feel like I'm the same, like, when I started, like, or I started writing this concept for this webcomic, or this web novel, I was like, okay, the point of web novels is you publish chapter by chapter without really editing it, and you kind of let it, like, you do it frequently and you keep going. But for things like what I'm writing, I like to write books where, you know, things make sense. Like, you don't have plot points that go nowhere. I hate that. So I have to plan out at least roughly what happens and what people do and why they do it. And because of that, I had to do a lot of background writing and, like, character development, because I also don't like books where there's, like, one main character, which is a lot of young adult novels. Oh, thank you for the follow, Luna. Welcome to the forest.
Yeah, I think you'd really enjoy Sylfania there, Luna.
Yeah, I don't really like when there's one main character and everything, like, they're the Mary Sue and there's always two love interests. Like, that is such a standard, lazy YA writing. What I enjoy is an ensemble cast. Now, that is something that I've seen only a few times. I think in Sabrina I've seen it. It's actually quite good. It's when you have 6 characters, and because they get enough screen time, or each of them gets enough screen time, you don't actually know who is the main character, because they're all the main characters. They are all integral parts of the story. You can't remove one, because this is how you know if a person is a main character. If you remove them, will the plot ever go forward? Like, okay, this person was only here for this one plot point, but will the rest of the story be okay? If you find that if you remove a character and the rest of the story is fine, they're not a main character, no matter what people tell you. I like stories where you need these, like, I have 6 characters, so I had to do full character development for 6 people. And that was a lot.
So my lore story, my lore game won't be like that. However, the rest of the world of Everine, like that is like, this person is integral to this thing, and this person won't be able to progress without that, and this hinges on this person doing this. I enjoy
of course, a story of one person's journey That's great. Like, whenever it's okay to have a main character, right?
Yeah.
For example, right? I know a lot of people bash Harry Potter. And I know a lot of people bash, not even the Harry Potter, a lot of people bash J.K. Rowling. However, Harry Potter is a character. He is the main character of his books, right? It's obviously said in the title, and you know that he's the main character. And he starts from an abused youth, horribly abused, I mind you. They need to call CPS on it. But anyway, abused youth. And then you see his development through the books, and he is not perfect. He makes mistakes, he stumbles, he gets back up. His friends stay with him through thick and thin, and sometimes they ditch him, and sometimes they come back. None of it is perfect, but it is an entertaining story because it's a journey of an imperfect person, and you watch them grow up. That is a good young adult book, right? And they could be, there is romance in there, there's fighting in there, but still, like, that is a good main person centric.
Yeah.
Now, a bad main person centric would be Twilight, because technically, it is once again the same thing. Yeah, I know. Doesn't exist. We don't talk about it. But it is the main character who has no character growth and a personality of a mop. And then the main thing that goes on is that there's two actually well-written characters with good stories, usually traumatic backgrounds, who are interesting, who for some reason are infatuated with the blank canvas.
Yeah.
The self-insert.
Why?
For no reason.
Why? She's
Like,
not
that's the thing.
interesting.
If you give me a good enough reason why these people would be interested, fine. Make an interesting character. Like, when I read the books of Aragon was a super interesting character. He wasn't perfect, but he was interesting, and I wanted to know what happens next to him. And when he got a love interest, I was like, oh, I get it, girl. I understand.
Yeah. Even a lot of the minor characters in Harry Potter have growth. It's like the twins. I can't remember which one died, but
yeah,
it caused a big upset, and it changed the other twin dramatically. Neville Longbottom is just like
good writing.
A blubbering mess before, and then he found his own confidence.
Love Neville. Neville's I think maybe my love for Neville came because the actor glowed up like crazy. Like, in the books, he's supposed to be still this, like, pudgy, weird teenager, but in the movies, he's hot. And you're like, ooh, I get it. He's supposed to be awkward, but, like, the glow up is so real.
Hello, everyone. Now I'm a man.
I feel like you're the main character, buddy. And you're like, oh, yes, Neville, you go for it, Neville. And I feel like Malfoy in the books, I hate it when I read him. But, like, when I'm watching movies, I'm like, the actor is so good, I can't hate him. Like, I love to hate him. I want him to be on screen more, because I want to hate him. And like, you know, the final, like, drama of, like, but even then, he was, like, the nasty villain. And even then, you understood, like, yeah, he's an asshole, but still, he's put in a position where his father and mom are, like, basically hostages of this evil dude, and this evil dude is trying to manipulate him to kill Dumbledore. And he is stressed because he's not working, and he's like, dude's gonna kill me. Like, you understand that he's an asshole. This is good writing. They never write, like, suddenly when Harry comes to Malfoy and says, I can help you. Malfoy changes his tune and becomes good. He is bad all the way to the end. And I'm like, yeah, because he's an asshole. He's just a bad person. However, it doesn't mean that bad people can't be in horrible situations and feel bad for themselves.
Yeah.
Good writing. Right there.
Oh, like, when I finally, watched, Phantom of the Opera. It's like, yeah, the Phantom is actually legit a bad guy, but when I saw, like, his backstory, I was like, holy crap! Oh, the poor guy, my heart.
But I feel like Phantom is a little bit of a different villain in a way, because he's actually he redeems himself in the end. Because he lets them go, like, he doesn't trap them there, and, you know, he saves them from the police, and he disappears off in the wind, whatever. Once again, I've seen the musical. I've seen the movie, but I've seen the musical first. But the idea is, I think with Malfoy, what was refreshing is, like, when the entirety of, like, what was it? Half-Blood Prince, where you had the two storylines of, like, Harry becoming suddenly good at potions because he found Snape's book. And then, obviously, Malfoy keeps trying to murder Dumbledore and keeps failing because he's just inept. And because you're like, yeah, he's 16, and you tell him to kill the strongest wizard? Are you high, Voldemort? Are you mad? What are you doing? There was a reason why he did it. But even then, like, you saw him failing, and, like, that moment where Harry sees Malfoy crying in the boys' bathroom. And I'm like, right, really bad YA writers of today would have done Harry comes up to him. He talks to him. Malfoy first is like, ugh, tsundere, pushes him away, but then explains his situation. Harry feels bad for him. Malfoy then reforms and starts helping the gang. That's not what happened. Harry is still like, this guy bullied me for 6 years. I'm not gonna help him. He's an asshole. And you're like, you know what, Harry? I understand you. And Malfoy is always like, yeah, I failed. Yeah, I'm scared, but I still gotta do it because I hate you, Harry. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. That fits the character. You're not doing things out of character. It makes sense.
Okay. But yeah, Harry gets angry and stuff, and like, yeah, it's totally normal human reaction.
Yeah, I think it's like more recent YA. I think it's like, I find it's mostly the girl-centric YA, which is bad, because like, we girls, we enjoy a good storyline. Why are you dropping us the slop? We don't like slop. But this is why I think Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix is quite good, because Sabrina as a character, she's not like that good. She's not good. She's a bully. Yeah, she's not like what you would think the heroine is, you know, the blank canvas, the I'm only doing good things, or oh yes, this drama, I'm gonna do the right thing. Sabrina she's got a personality. Like at some point she's like, I'm not gonna let she cheats on her boyfriend, and I'm like, you know what, she's a teenager. Some people do that.
Yeah.
That's a real human quality to her. And certain decisions she makes, like I would not make those, but once again, I'm not her. And I feel like that whole TV series was more like, this is why it was like, on Netflix it didn't do that well, and so like they had to cancel it, but it ended it was a series that had a good ending, so like it had a complete ending, it wasn't just suddenly canceled. But the whole point of it was, she had a personality, she had a really good actress playing her, and the story was like, you never knew what she was gonna do next. Like you knew Sabrina, but she also was a little bit crazy, like she would make decisions that I'm like, I mean, to be fair, she was put into crazy situations, so I don't know if I would have made what decisions I would have made in
also,
that situation.
hi, Pixie.
I mean, a lot of the decisions she had to make, I'm like, oh, like, again, if I say anything, I will spoil. Also, a lot of the side characters were interesting. And do you know how in a lot of, like, I think after watching Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Twilight, you know, all the 2000 YA fiction, you know, like, you always have the main girl, the best friend, or the person that's her emotional support, and then the hot brooding guy. And you always know she ends up with the hot brooding guy, never with the best friend emotional support. That just never happens. Or what happens is, like, if she's with someone and then somebody comes in, like, whatever, messes up, eventually the main couple will end up back together. Like Dawson's Creek logic, basically. After all the trials and tribulations. This show goes in interesting directions. Like, characters evolve, characters grow, and especially I feel like when you do young adult novels, you're only 15, 16, 17 at the time, things change. I had a different personality every few months when I was in high school. Like now, I feel like years are flowing in. Like I've been 30 for the last 5 years, and I'll probably be 30 for the next 10. Like it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
But back then, everything like drastic changes in personality are normal. So,
especially at that age, yeah.
Anyway, I would advise to anybody who wants a good young... I mean, it has its problems. Some of the acting is a bit wooden, you know, some of the effects are a bit meh. The story tends to get a little crazy, but in comparison to things like Divergent and, you know, all this slop, it's actually pretty good. I've enjoyed it.
I probably should have read the book for Maze Runner, but after the movie, I'm like, why didn't they just do this? And like someone
the only reason,
saying, well, in the book they actually explain it. It's like, well, in the movies it just seems like so obvious, like, oh, you could just do this and this and you're out.
Yeah, just explain it. Why don't you explain it? That's the problem of movies. I feel like that's why a lot of things switch to TV shows now, where you have the time to, like... I mean, Harry Potter managed to do it, but even then there are some things that are explained in the books but not in the movies, and you just take it for granted in the movie. But in the books, it explained why. This is, I feel, a problem just of movies. But nowadays, everything going into series, that is becoming a non-issue anymore. Now we have other problems. We have other issues that arise with this shit.
For movies, I can understand why they have to remove a lot of scenes completely, but in a series, you're able to explore all those. It's like with Hagrid's pets and
there's
stuff.
There's a lot of other issues with series, man.
I mean, true.
As you say, you clean one skeleton out of a closet, you get another skeleton in another closet, and you're like, aw, man, I just cleaned the first one up. Why is there a second? Yeah. But I find like the Maze Runner series, the only reason I watched this for Liam O'Brien. Was it? No, wait. What's his name? Dylan O'Brien, sorry.
Wrong O'Brien.
Wrong O'Brien, but also Liam O'Brien is a great voice actor.
He
is.
is.
But anyway, Dylan O'Brien, just, I don't know, I think I had a late 20s mom crush on him since Teen Wolf, because honestly, I have seen the entirety of Teen Wolf, because I thought, hey, this is a cool concept. Everybody was extremely intolerable, and the only person I watched it for was Styles. Dylan O'Brien carried the entirety of Teen Wolf for all 5 seasons. Everybody else had a very basic storyline, and Dylan O'Brien was always like the best friend, the second guy, but he had the best acting, the best like storyline. Everybody else is like, oh no, this girl doesn't like me, and I'm a werewolf, blah blah. And this guy's like, my mom's in a mental hospital, and my dad is. Oh, I think I might be going crazy too. Oh boy.
Was it
like
Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
Didn't he play Teen Wolf too?
Yeah, and I think they had him as a cameo in the TV show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they did that. I remember that because it was kind of like a remake of the 80s or the 90s Teen Wolf. But it had, of course, a different story, and it was made for modern times. But at some point, it went to a thing where almost everybody in that school friend group was some sort of mystical creature. So there wasn't just werewolves, there were like other creatures. Except Dylan O'Brien's character, he was just a dude. And I really like this, where the entire storyline, everybody else is like supernatural. And then there's just Dylan, who is normal. And I'm like, you need the normal person to just keep you sane. And there was one, and I found like he was woefully underused. It was always focused on Scott, who was like the main character. And I'm like, he's so boring, I don't care about him. But there was one season where the entirety of the season was the fact that Styles thought he was going crazy because he started losing time, and he went into, like, we call him Dark Styles. He went into, like, he was kind of possessed by this weird spirit or something, but he himself wasn't supernatural, he was possessed. But the way it was filmed, the first half of the season, you had no idea, you genuinely thought he was going crazy, and he actually, like, signed himself into a mental hospital, because he's like,
no.
I'm a danger to myself and everybody else, and everybody's like, no, Styles, you can't, and he's like, bro, I do not recall yesterday. I don't know what I did. I came home covered in mud. I am going to a mental hospital. And you know what? It feels like out of all of the characters in that show, Styles is the one that you're like, yeah, that's what I would do. Literally the entire TV show, you're like, yeah.
If this had happened to me.
You're the voice of the people. And then obviously, unfortunately, Styles gets like the... I don't know. Maybe it's my... This is the reason I've watched the entirety of Teen Wolf, because I saw how much, like... Everybody else got a little bit of happiness and, like, somehow got, like, a good storyline. Styles was always, like, shafted. Like, every time something happens, Styles suffers. First time Styles ever falls in love with, the girl doesn't die, she just ditches him. And I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Like, the first time, I'm like, oh, finally, Styles got a supernatural thing. I'm like, nope, he was just possessed. And then, like, they only used about half a season of this, and then, you know, after that, he's all back to normal again. And I'm like, you can't do this! And he's the only one with, like, oh, like, your parents aren't, like, just divorced or dead. Like, mom's in a mental hospital. And it's not because she's possessed by some spirit and she can't be cured. She's just full on, like, she just has a mental illness that is very debilitating, and he can't help, and nobody can help. And you're like, oh, okay, Styles, man.
Darn.
Man, you need a break. And after that show, he started doing Maze Runner, where he suddenly, like, was the main character. I was like, yeah, I'm watching this. He deserves it. He needs a break. I don't know if he's done anything after the Maze Runner.
I don't know.
I'm gonna check.
But
Sorry,
I actually did not enjoy the movie. I just found so many things. It's like, there's so many things wrong with it.
Yeah.
But again, like, from the people who read the books, it's like, well, actually, there's a reason why they didn't do it, because in the books, it blah blah blah. It's like, okay, well, that makes sense. But that's not what it showed in the movie.
Yeah, I'm just checking his IMDb, sorry. Once again, apologies for the last 15 minutes of fangirling. That's what happens here.
No apologies needed.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, he likes to play really emotionally, like, crazy roles. Like, I think it's mostly because, you know, when you watch a lot of new actors, And in a lot of these teen shows, that's where a lot of new actors start. And that's been since the dawn of time. You would have like Jensen Ackles, who is the mega monolith manly man. He started in, was it either As the World Turns or some other soap? Like, this is how young actors start. And nowadays, it's like you start in a rom-com Netflix drama. That's how you start. And then you go from there. And I felt like Dylan O'Brien, the way you start is like, well, the rest of the cast is mediocre. You're the one that gets a career because you can actually act.
No, on Netflix, How to Date a Goblin.
Yeah, man, let's go. Let's do that show. There's so many dating shows on Netflix. Why? Why do you need so many?
I don't know.
There's so many. It used to be. Used to be back in my day, before the heyday of Netflix, there used to just be Love Island. And that's it. That is the only show that was relevant in the UK. Now, there's like so many. There's at least, I know at least 5. And they're just from like the US. There's a lot of Korean ones, but Netflix is going crazy with the dating shows. Like, how many do you need?
Yeah, that is weird. I don't have Netflix anymore, but and I don't know why, but I keep having clips recommended to me from dating shows.
Yeah. I mean, the people that go on those shows are...
They're looking for one thing.
Individual.
And it's not for literature.
No. And a lot of those dating shows, I feel like people go on them when they want to have their 10 minutes of fame and they don't care how they get it. Like, there isn't, like... It's not like I want to become famous because I'll be a good actor, good dancer, good singer, a good comedian, or some sort of a talent or said skill that can be used for entertainment. I want to be famous because I'm a Kardashian or something. You know, the rise of the Kardashians.
Famous for being famous. It's just blah.
This is the problem. The rise of the Kardashians and the rise of, because you know what? Like, I know that there was Keeping Up like with Ozzy Osbourne and his family, but that is different. They're actually crazy interesting people. Kardashians aren't interesting. So I'm like, why are you following them? They're not interesting. Like, if somebody said, hey, I'm gonna follow this crazy family who are genuinely like crazy, like Ozzy Osbourne, I'm like, yeah, that's a good reality show.
He's wild.
Rest in peace, King of Darkness. But I mean, even like his wife, his kids, they're all insane. They're all their own level of crazy. And it's really entertaining to like follow them, you know? But Kardashians, like, the biggest drama that happens is like, it's very basic. And the same problem is with like the housewives of whatever, of Mormon, Atlanta, millions of the housewife series are there now. You're following boring people. And so I feel like that became the big problem, and everybody now wants to be those boring people who don't do anything, who are for some reason followed by the camera. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, yeah. Bring back actual quality reality content. Anyway. Sorry, I'm just browsing through Dylan O'Brien's. He is in some movies, they're just not as big as the Maze Runner.
Yeah.
I think those are like the last really big ones he was in. I think he did like Bumblebee, was straight after Maze Runner. I think starting from 2019, he wasn't really in anything. Like big.
I gotta see if I could get into some animated shows or something. Do some more auditions and stuff.
Yeah, man. I wanted to ask you about the voice acting, by the way. So, like, do you have like a voice acting either booth or something somewhere where you record your demos or?
I would like to. The place I am in right now just wouldn't accommodate one. So I might have to move in the next year or two. So I don't want to set anything up crazy right now. So everything I've been doing is more for like independent creative people.
Yeah, but I'm like, how do you like reduce noise, improve, like what are your tricks to do it on the cheap?
So
and the DIY?
for one, I record / stream in a corner, and I even like right behind the monitor, I've stuffed behind it with a pillow. Oh,
hold on, I'm being raided.
Raiders!
Hey, Bethel, how you doing? Welcome. How are you doing? You're playing Half-Life Alyx. Do you know about that game, Gavin?
I don't.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed your game. Welcome. We're doing a Ranger Roundtable with Gavin. You know Gavin. You've attended Sylfania's birthday together.
Yeah.
You know.
And I got to be a
yeah,
special character myself.
Yay! But yeah, we'll do more Daggerheart next year. Same thing, one shots. I might do something for Valentine's. Like a fun Valentine's one shot. So prepare yourselves. I need to find one of your characters' backstory to base it on, and then do similar thing I did to the Halloween one. Should be fun. Oh, it's a scary game, is it? Oh my. Well, do take care of yourself. I can't play scary games.
If I do, I typically laugh.
Yeah, I'm different. So I've tried to play Fears to Fathom, which is like it is like one of those short episodic horror games. I had to quit halfway because like I almost got a proper heart attack. I got tachycardia, like a irregular heart rhythm. And then when I tried to play Tomb Raider, the first Tomb Raider with the triangle boobs and the pixels and all that, and I even knew what was coming. I knew that the giant T-Rex is gonna show up and I'm gonna have to fight it. I knew that, and I still got jump scared and I still screamed like a baby. It just always. This always happens to me. That's why I can never play anything with horror. I can watch horror.
I can't watch horror with anyone. I kind of ruin it for them. I'm like, watch, if this is a typical horror movie, there's gonna be a jump scare right about now. Oh, but don't worry, it's just gonna be the best friend. There's a misunderstanding. They're all gonna laugh, and then his head is gonna get chopped off. And then
I mean,
like
that's
a lot of these events actually happen, and they're like, Gavin, I thought you said you haven't watched this. I haven't.
It's just basic. To be fair,
it's just
I
the
can
formula.
recommend you some really good horror films where that's not the case. The jump, it's scary because of the content. It's scary because it doesn't rely on jump scares. It relies on actual scary stuff. So
yeah,
I think they're mostly
that's the stuff the stuff that lingers. That's the good stuff. Jump scares is just like, okay, done. Okay, now what?
So the best, I think that's done by the same director. I only watched 2 films by him, and what he does is he makes it horrifying but also funny, and in a way like you're watching and you're like, oh my god,
Funny horror? That reminds me of was it the Bruce Campbell films?
Yes, but it's not like campy.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, those were campy.
Oh my god, that's so loud. That redeem scared the crap out of me. It was so loud. Oh, thank you for playing the anime song. Oh my god. I legit have to take the headphones off. I'm sorry. I've lowered the sound now, but everybody got spooked. What was I saying? Yes, the director of oh god. Yeah, so the director was the guy, I don't remember his name, but he's the one who wrote Barbarian and the one who directed Weapons. Oh. So those 2 films, the horror comes from okay, so he's using this trope, I think, but it's scary, it's gory, but it's also funny? I don't know, there's amount of dark humor undertone. It's not camp humor like Bruce Campbell, it's dark humor. The joke would be that the person who said I'll give you one example. So there was something horrible happening in this house, right? There's something horrible happening in this house, people are going missing, and the dude is called you need to liquidate your assets, you need to sell this house. And he goes to this house and he finds a weird basement with a secret room. And the first, normal horror film is to go in and say, hello, is there anyone there? Or to say, but his first instinct is, my freaking tenants! They built a sub-basement! Assholes! And he starts calling the company and but then he's like, wait, can I get more money for this? And the whole point is he's measuring how big the sub-basement is. And he's scared, yeah. And then, but the level of because this character has been established as a money-grubbing capitalist, he behaves like a money-grubbing capitalist. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, whatever. I'm pissed off, but also money. And then he goes deeper in this. Yeah, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper into the scary basement. And you're like, you know what's gonna happen to him because, like, something happened to people before him in this basement. But it's just so entertaining to, like, oh man, like, okay. So, like, this is how he directs it. He diverts expectations enough for you to think it's fresh. With weapons, he does it in a different way. It's actually genuinely a really creepy movie. But there's just one scene near the end where all I'm gonna say is you're gonna understand this later. I'm not spoiling anything. So a person is running away really slowly from a bunch of kids who are screaming and covered in blood and are trying to rip them apart. And you know, it's really terrifying. You got a bunch of, I don't know, teenagers who are blood crazed that are about to rip apart this person. And this person is running away really slowly because they're old and sick. But for a second there, the camera shifts to just a dude mowing his lawn. And then you see a person running, and the guy turns around, looks at it kind of weird, and goes, whatever, goes back to it. Then you hear a bunch of kids screaming, running, and the guy looks at it again, shrugs again, and just keeps mowing the lawn. And I'm like, it's just directing, just moments where you're like, yeah, it's still a scary movie, but it's just so funny. And like, I feel like people in his world react how people in our world would. It's more like, instead of instantly acting like their IQ dropping, a lot of people, like, especially I think in Barbarian, the main character of the movie, I guess she's the main character, but anyway, when you think like, oh, she's gonna do this trope, she actually does a smart thing, and you're like, oh shit, I've seen enough horror, or like, she's seen enough horror films to know where this is going. Okay, that's refreshing. Okay. Yeah. It's amazing. And a lot of the time, the person that you're like, okay, this is gonna be the bad guy, or like, this is gonna be the bad person, obviously, and then you're like, oh, they're dead. Guess not. Guess okay.
Yeah.
They just
or when that happens, that's so good.
Oh yeah, watching it, you're like, you know, they're not overly evil, but they're just, you know, there's just something off about them. They are like, something is, maybe they're the bad person. Like, even the main character is like freaked out by like some certain behavior, and then something happens, like, oh no, they were just really awkward. Oh.
Yep, and
okay.
They're like,
The
okay,
real
now
bad
I
is
really
something
gotta
else.
pay
Oh,
attention
shit.
because everything I thought I knew is wrong.
Yeah, that is something that this, I don't know who, I'm gonna tell you the name of this director, but they've done 2 films who are like this, and I'm like, this is brilliant. And sometimes even if you another sound redeem. Attack on Titan, let's go. Yes, it's a bit short because I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube for a soundbite. But basically, yes, Attack on Titan. These have not been played in a while, so thank you for going through the catalog. I'll get you the name of the director. If you enjoy, like, really good, unsuspecting horror films. And of course, apart from that, the good horror film is something like Nosferatu, where, you know, it's a classical story. It isn't really like, it's not gonna be a new twist or whatever. We've all read Dracula. We all know what Nosferatu's about, you know. But it's done and filmed in such a way that it doesn't make you scared. It makes you uncomfortable. I love those kind of horror films. Horror films where you sit there, and there was a few scenes in Nosferatu, I just was like, And it wasn't because they were gory or bloody or disgusting. It's just they were so... The sound, the visuals, the pacing, so uncomfortable. I felt like goosebumps, and I'm like, oh, this is good. Because it's not like genuinely like jump scaring me. It's just uncomfortable and unsettling and like, creepy.
Oh, was it like with Stranger Things? Or not, when you see like some of the gooey flesh walls, the pulsating, the
No, but not even that. In Nosferatu, it's done so well because there is a little bit of gore and grime, but it's not overly done. And a lot of the scenes, it's just a character slowly walking through a gothic building. And it's the lack of sound that gets you, not the actual sound. And there's no jump scare. Like, you expect, like, oh, there's no sound, there's gonna be a jump scare at the end of this. But it's just an unsettling... like, the scene lingers for too long.
Yeah.
Or the characters' movements are not very, like, sharp and quick and angry. They're slow, but you clearly see they're not... Like, a human being wouldn't move like this willingly. And you're like, oh. You know, I love that. The stuff that makes you squirm, love it. Because it's genuinely scary. So yeah, definitely watch it. Zach Kreger, I think? I think it's Zach Kreger, the one who wrote Barbarians and Weapon. Director. Yeah, Zach Kreger. Any horror movie comes out by him, he's already got 2 out of 2. So for sure. Yeah, I think he's only done 2 miniseries before, but the majority of his like IMDb score movies is he's got nothing below a 7.
Nice.
Which is a lot for
That is a lot.
Yeah. He did a few other like episodes for TV series and stuff because he's a director obviously, but like his own like horror films, and so far it's 2 out of 2. Keep an eye out on him.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
Now he has expectation. now he can't mess up because if he does,
if
the society
does,
is
you're gonna get him.
unforgiving. Yeah, it's not me. It's the way consumers nowadays, which is why a lot of TV shows that are genuinely good, and if they came out in like 2000s when they had at least 2 seasons and 20 episodes to like establish themselves, make sure the characters like get people used to the pacing, set the scene a little bit. Nowadays, you don't have that luxury. You're either good or you're not.
And what's sad is a lot of studios are scared of trying anything new.
I already had a previous rant with Danny about this. This is the problem. I'm starved for new IP. I am so tired of we are remaking this TV series or this novel or this book. Give me just a new story, please.
And
for
I
the
want
love of
to.
God.
Or a new idea is like, this one I wanted to pitch, and I have a friend who had worked at DHX Studios, the ones who made My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And I told him about it. He's like, don't. My brother tried the same thing, and they're like, no, because that's kind of adjacent to what Disney is doing, and we're just scared to do it. It's like, but it's totally different. It's like it's taking these fairy tale ideas, and it's like it turning them on their head. And it's like the big bad wolf is actually a good guy, and all the fairy tale characters actually live in this one community. So it's like he'll be interacting with the 3 bears one moment, and then the 3 little pigs, and then he'll talk with Jack in Jack and the Beanstalk.
But isn't that like what Shrek did in the episode?
It's kind of what Shrek did, yeah. But it's like, and I tried to explain to him, but it's like Shrek did that. They're not Disney. You're like, yeah, but they're still scared of Disney. But it's like Disney doesn't own all these. Yeah.
He doesn't own the IPs. He doesn't own it. But that's the problem with Disney. They're like a cancer. They own everything.
Yeah.
But I find it goes deeper than that. The problem is no new TV series or movie executive is ever going to take a new writer's idea unless it already has a fandom behind it. That is an issue. It needs a fandom. And that's a problem in anime.
Like that's how
a problem in movies.
What is that one by Fizzy Pop? Her shows got to be popular because, I mean, she already developed a following on YouTube and stuff, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I guess we could take that because it's popular. It's like, but it's like, you won't. How is anyone?
Which is why I find I find it's really horrible because I understand a lot of new writers, right? You just graduated from screenwriting and directing college, right? You just got that fresh degree. You have so many ideas. You want to do something new and fresh and put your, become the next Spielberg, become the next, you want to be that like new person. And then all of these execs are like, yeah, but we want you to write us a remake of this. And you're like, but I have an original idea. They're like, yeah, but it doesn't have a fandom. This IP has a fandom and we just got the rights for it, so let's go. And you're like, like, I feel like this is what happened, unfortunately, with The Witcher. I feel like the writers aren't necessarily bad. They had some really great ideas. The problem was they wanted to probably get some creative freedom, because I understand wanting creative freedom. But when you're given an IP and you have this avid fan base that are like, don't change anything or we'll crucify you.
Yeah, that's like, the hard thing. It's like, do we keep it faithful to the original, or do we induct something new into it, make it different?
But, I mean, I'll go back to the same concept. I think I've gone back to this every Ranger Roundtable, because the conversation inevitably, because it's a sore topic for me, right? Because I do the comparison between The Witcher and The Foundation. Now, both of those are based off of books. The books that honestly have a following, but it's not like Star Wars level. It's not so huge that almost everybody has heard of them, right? So The Witcher, obviously the games made it famous, but the books themselves from Andrzej Sapkowski were Polish, written in like I think he's still writing them. Like there's a little bit of finalized books, but yeah, he's been writing them for a while. There's at least 7 or 8 books out. And then of course you've got The Foundation by great Isaac Asimov, who specifically wrote that book and said it is going to be impossible to adapt this to television. This is one of the few books I've written to make sure nobody can make a movie or a TV series about it because it's impossible. It is an anthology of humankind. You will never know the characters survive for a chapter, and in the next chapter it's been 50 years and they're dead. That's how the story goes. You can't make a TV show with that. That's what Foundation is. But when you look at the TV shows, The Witcher, kind of, honestly, everybody bashes season 1, but it's because they haven't read the books. The first book does time jumping, just like season 1 does. And season 1 goes book, like, event by event, and it actually combines the first book and the beginning of the second book quite well, because I've read The Witcher, the first 2 books, and rewatched season 1, and I'm like, yeah, I don't see why people are complaining. It's more like, oh no, I'm so used to young adult linear storyline. He said, she said, and this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. I can't follow a non-linear storyline. I mean, Witcher has its own problems of like, oh, this is supposed to take place in 3 different locations, but they all look the same, Or this is supposed to be 5 years apart, but these characters look the same and dress the same, so wearing the same outfit. Like, it is confusing in that way, but the time jumping, it's real and it was in the book.
It's interesting that you brought up Foundation, because there is a game that came out recently that is pretty much based off of those books. And I got to playing it and it's like, hey, this is fun. And other people are like, oh, you like this? I'm like, yeah, I like stuff that's inspired by Isaac Asimov. And they're like, what, who? And they're like, oh no, they have no idea what this is.
But yeah, so the story is like Witcher, like the first season was okay. And then obviously later on, the writers were like, we can't, like, I mean, my opinion was, suck it up, Buttercup. This has got too avid of a fandom for you to put your creative spin on it. Just go with it. Like, there was a section in season 2 where they introduced Baba Yaga, like the Death Mother with the weird hut. Now that is based 100% off of a Slavic creature called Baba Yaga. It's nowhere in the books. However, it is culturally relevant and would potentially exist in the world of The Witcher. And I'm like, hey, this is a
you've got to have the hut
fits.
with the chicken legs. You have to.
Yeah, but what I mean is, it's not in the books, but it is in Slavic folklore, and this takes place in medieval Poland. Sure, add it. It's interesting. It fits. I couldn't tell if it was in the books or not if I haven't read it. Now, the later seasons, and my biggest beef is with like the origin, like the blood of elves or whatever, that origin series that Netflix came out. That was complete bullshit. Because they've completely retconned how Witchers were made and how elves behaved, and I'm like, none of this makes, like, this prequel doesn't make sense to the entire Witcher series. Like, make a prequel that makes sense, because, like, that's when, but because it was done by the same same writers and director, that's when I knew, like, I see. Well, so what they should have done is sucked it up, followed the books to the letter, finished the series, gotten famous, and then, now that they have pull, done a fresh IP by themselves.
Yes.
And people would have watched it. That's what they should have done, but people are freaking impatient. They can't wait 6 years to finish a series. And I'm like, 6 years is nothing comparatively. We live long now. Just wait 6 years, and then you can do whatever you want. But people want fame, and they want it now.
But 6 years is like a million years.
Yeah, and so so that writer, who could have potentially been a really good writer and a director, could have done well, but they've shot themselves in the foot, and now everybody hates them. Now anything they do, they now have anti-fans.
They'll have that negative stigma.
Are going to sink them, they've ruined their own career. Like, by this decision of not waiting. Now, on the other hand, there's a TV show, Foundation, right? Who have been said by Isaac Asimov himself, you cannot adapt it to TV series. So what they said, okay, from the beginning, we're not going to follow this book word by word. We are inspired by the world of Foundation. We're inspired by the concept that humanity has grown so big and so large that one person who does mathematics has gotten so complex that you can potentially predict future through mathematical simulations. And this one dude predicted the fall of humanity, and he's Harry Seldon, and he's now coming to the Empire of Man and saying, hello, world's gonna collapse, y'all are gonna die, this is the potential future, and we only have a few options to prevent that over the next few 100 years, and we gotta do something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the story starts.
Okay, so the game was actually very faithful to that. That's interesting, because I didn't read the books.
Yeah.
I want to read the books
I also
now.
haven't read the books. I haven't read the books yet. But that is like the first beginning. And that is how the TV show starts as well.
Cool.
They have a Harry Seldon, they have this thing. But then they said, okay, the concept is good. The starting point is good. But from episode 1 and 2, we're gonna go in a different direction. We're gonna say, what if the planet was there and it did this? What if this, like, theoretically, all of this could exist in the world of the Foundation. But I feel like, unlike The Witcher, where they gave you the unreal expectations of following the books to the T, and following the same character of Geralt, in a Foundation, there's so many characters, and like Harry Seldon dies ages ago, and then new characters pop up, and new Foundation stuff happens. They said, okay, Harry Seldon does die, but what if? I mean, technology's advanced like this. He left his consciousness in a mathematical simulation, and you're like,
yep.
Huh. The entire, like, when I was watching the series, the entire storyline between the Empire, so what they did, they created a genetic dynasty. They said, there's gonna be one Emperor of Man said, I am the perfection. Oh, thank you for the follow, Clawmasher. I'm the perfection. I'm the pinnacle of emperorness. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to save my genetic code, and all the emperors after me are going to be my clones. They're gonna be exactly like me. But I'm not arrogant enough to say that they're all going to be exactly like me. I'm going to have one of me that is when I was young and impulsive, but also fresh-faced with new ideas. One of me that is the peak of manliness in like my 30s, when I've grown out of my ideas, but also I now know how to rule. And one of me that is an older, wiser version. And they're all going to rule. Yeah, and they're all going to be, thawed out when they get older, and my dynasty will be forever. And I was like, that is an interesting concept. And then obviously a lot of political drama and everything else happened because this is not sustainable.
Yeah.
And it was very, like, it's done very interestingly. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is like existential crisis meets what if meets psychological, like, explanation of how populations work and how, like, who's there to rule and how, like, what is individualism? Are we predestined? All of that. And I'm like, this is amazing. Makes you think. None of that is in the books. All of that, writer's idea. And I'm like, this is the crowning jewel of the show to me. Of course, there's Harry Seldon, the Foundation, and the humanities downsides, but the entire storyline of the Empire is so engaging and so interesting. And it's so, like, I feel like they've done something similar, but it's fresh enough to be like, I am genuinely interested where they go next.
That is a fresh idea.
Yeah, but what they did was they took the world of Foundation and said, potentially the Empire of Man would have this arrogance, and this would happen. And one of the emperors would say, I am the only one. I'm like, and from the beginning, they just said this is inspired by Foundation, not directly by the books. And the show is great. And it's well done, high budget, interesting characters, great rotating cast of other people, because obviously it jumps through time quite a bit.
I'm kind of curious if some of the characters that were in the game are in the show too. Is there a character named Rion, Space Cowboy guy?
No.
Oh, okay, so different characters.
Yes. I think only Harry Seldon is like the one common dude.
Who gets called like a prophet by some.
Of course, yeah, everybody said like Asimov's books are, they're product of their time. They're extremely misogynistic. Like there's barely any female characters that have any interesting things to say. And obviously the show was like, we can't just have old white dudes be people in this show. We gotta change it up a little bit. And so from the get-go, they just said, okay, you know what? We're gonna go in a fresh direction. And it came an amazing kind of like inspired by the world of, but an original story.
Yeah.
And you can get everybody who's a fanboy of Isaac Asimov starting to watch it. You just need to get people to start to watch. And then if you can catch them with an interesting storyline, some will, drop off because say this is not by the book. But then a lot of people will be like, yeah, the book is impossible to adapt though, so this is the best I'm gonna get. And this is actually pretty good on its own.
What's interesting is that I didn't even hear of Foundation until just like a week ago, and it's like, now I really want to get into this.
Yeah, because the new season came out recently. Oh, thank you for the hat. Yeah, it's a random roulette. There's a bunch of hats, and this is a fairy queen hat. Yeah.
I don't see it on my end, but...
You don't see the hat?
No?
Oh my god. It's still very loud. But not as loud as it used to be. It used to be much louder. It completely made me go deaf. Somebody played the anime song again. Oh, it just takes a little bit of time to load. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a nice purple butterfly hat. But yeah, so the what was I saying? Yeah, so I would highly advise you to watch Foundation TV series. I think it's because it's Apple TV, so it's not like Netflix or Prime. It's more of those, like, if you have an Apple TV subscription.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, but I feel. I'm sure you can find a way. That's all I'm gonna say. Hint, hint.
Also
nudge,
interesting
nudge.
how you broke into song right there for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
I mean, I wanted to say that you should do a particular thing. I just didn't want to get Yeah, here we go.
I should hug more people? Agreed.
No, somebody played Pirates of the Caribbean song on my channel. As a Yes. But basically, what I mean to say is there are other ways, if you're not subscribed to, like, the million subscription services that exist, to find a way to watch a really good show.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna voice it here, so I don't get any flack for it, but you know what I mean. But yeah.
Build a time machine, go into the future, and get it when it's
Wait till the
free
box set.
for everyone? Okay.
Wait till the box set comes out. That's what I mean. I mean, I'm sure there's a box set of Foundations. So, once again, this is my nag. This is something streaming services should do. Like, they have while the TV series are coming out. So this is something that Outlander did. I'm a very big fangirl of Outlander and Diana Gabaldon, right? And the Outlander TV series and the prequel have been streaming on Stars, which were at first on Prime, and it was included in your Prime membership, and then you had to buy a MGM Plus channel, whatever. But as the seasons were coming out, you had to be subscribed to see them when they come out, right? It's similar to when you had cable, you had to watch the show or Game of Thrones episodes on HBO as they were coming out. However, after it's been a few months of the old season, that season was purchasable in a DVD disc, like a box set, or you could purchase it off of Amazon. Like, you could do this for Outlander. All of, the older seasons, you can buy them as a box set and watch them whenever and however you like, rather than be subscribed to a particular service. A lot of places like Apple TV and other things don't do that anymore. And I'm like, but what if I want to binge a certain series? Like, oh, you have to subscribe to us. And I'm like,
but I just want the one show.
Yeah, I just want the one binge show. I don't want all of the rest of your slop. I want to watch that one show. And I'm willing to pay, I remember buying a box set of Game of Thrones for my dad, and it cost me £50, but it was all 8 seasons. And I was like, yeah, it's worth it. Just let me... if I want to watch... if I really like a show, for example, Netflix, to me, it has so much Korean and Chinese drama and a lot of the TV series that I actually like to watch. It is cost-effective for me to be subscribed. It is also cost-effective for me to be subscribed to this purely Korean, Japanese, and Chinese drama service, because they usually have shows that are not on Netflix, not IP'd on Netflix. And that's it. Those two are... And obviously Prime I have because I get delivery. That's it. Those are the ones I have. Now, my boyfriend has Disney Plus because he really likes Star Wars, and he has Apple TV because Apple TV does amazing sci-fi. And between the two of us, we actually have too many streaming services subscriptions. But still, that is already, enough. But if you getting a streaming service just because you want to watch one IP of theirs, that is... Yeah. No. But, I mean, for this... The same company should release box sets, because people will buy them, but unfortunately they don't do that, and I'm like, I don't understand why.
Basically, that's what I mean. A lot of physical media, just in general, a lot of these companies just don't want to do.
I feel like they just don't think. That's the problem.
Totally.
They don't think. They just do not have a thinking brain cell. They just profit, give
or there's
tomorrow,
a lot of companies
no profit
that's
tomorrow,
we're actually
no
losing money in our streaming services. But we definitely can't do physical media again because we don't want to make money. We're allergic to it.
Like, I would buy a special edition Outlander. Some people are just very avid fan girls and boys of shows. I would buy a fully like DVD extended cut with comments of Outlander once the show is fully done. A box set. I'll freaking do it on Blu-ray. I'll buy it. But they don't sell them. That's the problem. Sell them. I'll give you money. It's bull. But anyway. On that note, enough ranting. Right, how are you feeling? We've been streaming for 2.5 hours. How is your voice? Is your voice doing okay?
Oh yeah, voice is doing great. You're like,
okay.
Yeah, I could talk for hours.
Oh, great. I'm always checked because some people, like, I personally get, when I'm streaming, because obviously I'm mostly playing a game, but even then, I think my limit is 4 hours. After 4 hours, I get this mental fatigue from just talking. I don't know like, I'm not even doing an accent. It's just, I think it's. Oh no! I've seen somebody use bits.
Yep. I have so many people ask me if like my voice hurts my throat after a while. I'm like, no. Why?
No, I feel like if you do it correctly, then you're not hurting your vocal cords, which I assume you're doing it correctly. If you're doing it wrong, then it would hurt your vocal cords.
Oh yeah, in my case, if your voice hurts, stop immediately.
Don't do it, yeah. For me, I think it's less of a voice thing. Like, again, I can yap for hours. It's a problem of, for some reason, I guess maybe I'm a very big introvert. All I want to do is lock myself up in my room and just not go to work, not leave the house, and just watch a TV series and not talk to anybody for months.
All I want to do is watch some shows.
Alone in my house. but and not even speak a single word out loud unless it's to myself. So, but of course I understand that this is not, humans are social creatures, right? And I've gotten used to being, I guess in school I overcompensated by being very extroverted and getting involved in everything. To the point where it became a habit. But my social battery, I think 4 hours is my limit. After 4 hours, it just goes. And I do not want to talk to anybody. I need like at least 3 hours of just binge watching something where I do not have to like be in my head. I can be in a fictional
So it
head,
seems like you're a bit of an ambivert. It's like you need some social, but you need some private.
To be fair, okay, that sounds really bad for a VTuber who streams, but I don't really need any social. The reason, like, if I was left to my own devices, I would never collab. Not because I don't like people, but because it's not in me to, like, reach out and ask people to, like, hang out.
Oh, so you're not very extroverted anymore?
No, I never was. But I think... Oh, sorry. Another song. Somebody... Altonio is redeeming all of my sound bits. He just redeemed that Russian song. That was really funny. It's funny in Russian. If you don't speak Russian, you don't understand.
I don't speak Russian. Only quote unquote Russian song I know, if you could call it that, is "Rah Rah Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen."
That's not Russian.
I know, but it's
not Russian.
That's why I said yeah.
Yes, Altonio. I'm a bilingual streamer. I stream in Russian and in English. Mostly in English, but I am a Russian native. So yes, I speak Russian. And I know Russian historical TV shows are something different. They're like Brazilian soap operas, but with less hand gesture movements, but the same amount of drama and ridiculous plot.
Hand gesture movements, like all those Italian mafia boys. Hey!
Yeah, and not only that, like a lot of Brazilian TV shows and a lot of like Korean TV shows have this, like, when a character turns away dramatically, they redo it multiple times for effect, and you're like, what is this camera work? Russian TV series feel like there is no camera work. Like, they just put a static camera and they're like, yeah.
Or if it was Japanese, you have the Super Sentai or like Power Rangers thing, all the hand movements go like whoosh, 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 wah.
Yeah, and so much like After Effects, so much post-processing. A lot of Russian TV shows, they have like 2 cameras installed and no post-processing ever done. You just watch it as is. But they're its own thing. I find like Russian TV... So, again, this is something I've not talked to anybody about, by the way, because this is, as a kid, I used to always come home from school and watch TV, and whatever was on TV for like an hour before my grandma would give me extra algebra homework would be like my only escape. And I would always watch these like weird Russian sitcoms or like family sitcoms. And as a kid, I thought, wow, this is such a unique Russian situation. I've never seen this anywhere before. And when I grew up, I realized they were all like rip-offs of 90s and 80s American TV shows. Or Korean TV shows. There were not original concepts, but I'm gonna defend them because unlike a lot of modern rip-offs, which are like, you know, in remakes or inspired by, they do it like the same but different. Russian TV series would take, like, for example, you know, the Nanny, which is the 1980s or 90s TV show about a nanny from Queens who moves into this really posh house. Yeah. Fran Drescher one.
Yeah.
A queen.
Oh,
so
gosh. I remember the mustard scene where, like, cleared her sinuses. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, wow, I can speak so clearly now. I wonder how long it will last.
Basically. But that whole concept of a nanny from the boonies going to a rich man's house, a rich producer's house. I think he wasn't a theater producer, he was like a movie producer. But anyway, going to producer's house and like being a nanny to his kids, and then slowly falling in love with her, blah blah blah. There was always this like snooty blonde woman who is trying to like, you know, who thought she had a done deal, and then this crazy nanny comes in, like that concept, right? It was fully ripped off in the Russian show The Nanny. However, they made the guy a theater producer because in Russia, theater is much bigger. It's more common that you'd find a theater producer than you'd find a movie producer. And they would, you know, he would set up musicals as well, which was quite a big thing in Moscow. Then he would be from Moscow, she'd be from like a small, at the time, not Ukrainian city, but Birulova, which is like a suburb of Moscow. It's kind of like the Moscow's Queens, but isn't. But like they did it smart enough, and like while certain episodes were almost like word for word ripoff, they made it work that you're like, this is something that could work in Russia at the time when this was filmed. It didn't feel like this concept has been like this, oh, this is clearly ripped off from an American show. Like they made it work. And I don't know, I feel like it was brilliant. I've enjoyed it so much. And as a kid, that was one of my favorite shows. And then I was like, oh god, I have to watch The Nanny now. Like the original that inspired it.
Yep. Also, I'm short now.
Oh,
Pixie stole my booster seat.
Oh no, not the booster seat. Bring him back his booster seat. You can barely see your little head.
No. I'm trying to sit
How are
up
you gonna
as
get to your
tall as I can.
By the way, we're currently sitting at a bar. What would you drink? Milk? What's your favorite drink of choice?
Milk is good, especially chocolate. Chalky milk.
Sure, Chucky milk.
Okay.
He won't be able to reach his Chucky milk, gang. You have to give him his booster seat back.
Yeah.
This is a very tall bar.
Yeah. At least you can still see my hair flapping, right?
Yep, we can see your hair flapping. I mean, my stream avatars are walking all over you a little bit, but yeah.
No, yes to chalky milk.
Say no to chalky milk. Yes to chalky milk. I mean, as an older woman, chalky milk with Baileys is the thing. But I guess... man, I have a problem. I don't have a problem. I'm functioning, okay? I'm your drunk aunt. I'm the drunk aunt vibe.
If there was anything in particular for a mix for me to drink, it would be 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen.
Hey, very nice mix.
Yeah.
Very nice mix.
One is
Hydrating
flammable,
is important.
the other is explosive. Very volatile drink.
Yes. And when you mix them together... Did you say 2 parts hydrogen, 2 parts oxygen, or?
No, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen.
Yeah, and when you mix them together, it's super inert and it's lovely.
Yeah, which is weird.
Chemistry.
It's like we use it to put out fires, but separately, they're super dangerous.
That's chemistry for you, man. That's bizarre. Oh man. But yeah, so I would say, unfortunately, there's so many really good Russian shows, but the problem is, they usually don't get subtitles. Oh, Thank you for the crown. I need to adjust it though. It's not in the right place.
More hats.
There you go. More hats. But the whole point is like, it's a bit crooked. But we're just gonna have to live with a crooked crown. Can't really shake my head too much with it.
Yeah, don't want it to fall off and bonk me.
But the whole like, I find it such a shame because I always want to like share the insanity of Russian TV with other people, but I'm like, but they're only in Russian. There isn't no English dub or sub even to this.
No, but
like
it's
with all
just we get lots of other stuff. We'll get stuff from Europe. We'll get stuff from Korea. We'll get stuff from Japan, even China. But it's like nothing from Russia. Nothing.
No, but it does exist. It just there's not enough fandom out there to do the subtitles, and not many people in Russia speak fluent enough English to do them.
I've got a friend who lives in Russia who speaks English, and he.
No, so do I, and so do I. But like you're too busy doing other things. You never like there's never really an organized effort to like deliver those TV shows to the wider audience, and I feel some of them are just fantastic. Like, I've rewatched them recently, and they've just been great. They have their own unique charm, you know, like some of those Danish weird children's cartoons, and you're like, how is this a thing? It's a thing. It's the things that
some
become
of those
memes.
quote unquote children's cartoons are little something.
Yeah. No, I mean that's the thing. Movies are different though. You can find Russian movies with English sub. I'm more like talking about like cable, like the TV shows. There are some really famous ones that have been done, but they don't get, I don't know, they don't get as much of a fandom and hype as Asian shows do. So. I gotta eat a pepper and hydrate real quick. Ow. Oh, sure, yeah, I need to, oh no, I still have liquid. Kinzatsu is a good one, yeah. I really like the Adventures of Shurik. I guess that's what you call them. Приключения Шурика. Those are like old end of 60s, early 70s movies by the same director, who does a lot of like slapstick comedy. But he was heavily inspired by the Three Stooges, and he's done a really good job with like the stories. Because the stories, the problem I find I think with Russian shows, especially good Russian shows and movies, they're heavily based in dialogue. So it's not show, it's more tell. Like, a lot of dialogue is so iconic, and it only works in Russian. And when you translate it, no matter how well you translate it, it loses its... Like, all of Gaidai's movies are super funny. I laughed out loud as a kid. And they're all kid and adult friendly. But the problem is when you try to translate it to English or any other language, the humor goes away.
I mean, especially if you got puns. Puns, if translated, just don't work out.
No, Russian humor doesn't have any puns, which is why when I came to the UK, I was so pissed off. I was pissed off by puns because they don't make any sense to me. I'm like, it's not funny. It just sounds the same. I get angry. Russian humor, Russian humor is about the timing. It's saying something unfunny at a certain point makes it super funny. That's Russian humor. Sometimes it's the deadpan delivery of basically like if you take this line, it would be just a usual line. If you take this line and give it to this woman who is dressed like this and standing there after a certain thing has happened, it is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like, that is Russian humor.
Like The Office. A lot of stuff from The Office is deadpan humor.
But it's not even that. A lot of the stuff from The Office, the sentence just makes sense on its own, but you need to in the context of where he is, of what is happening. It is the funniest thing because this character is saying it at this point in time, in this situation. It's not the kind of humor you can like tell someone about, you know? You have to see it. But also, like, Gaidai's films have a lot of slapstick in between these moments, and I find, unfortunately, if your translation is not very good enough, these movies are just slapstick comedy, which a lot of people, like, you miss the ingenuity of the dialogue.
Yep.
So
I wonder, like, how well you would be able to take Dwarven theater. A lot of people would say it would go over your head, but it's like, it's a really big underground movement that I think a lot of people would get. I think you would really dig it.
At first, I was like, oh no, is Dwarven Theater like a YouTube channel or something? And then like 2 sentences in, I understood. And then I let you continue, but I was seething, and I'm that ruined my day. I'm so angry right now. Oh, I don't know why I have such a visceral loathing towards puns that it makes it so people who enjoy puns, like my partner, loves them.
Oh dear,
For some
so
reason,
you get it from him too?
Yeah, oh yeah. Those people, for some reason, really love people who hate puns. Because the reaction, the anger, the visceral disgust gives them sick pleasure. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm with my partner now. I think that's why I'm with my partner now, because he's never met anyone who has such a violent reaction to puns as I do, and I think he finds it like that is what his entertainment is. He doesn't do it when I'm in a bad mood, okay? He knows like the timing. But it's the worst when I least expect it, because I don't get it right away. Because as I said before, Russian humor is not based off of puns, so your mind doesn't like clock it right away, and when it hits, I should not have read that comment. Now that I've outed this, everybody's gonna do it. Okay, we're good. I've moved on. I've calmed down. I used to react really badly. Now it's just I just go quiet, and it's just anger, quiet anger. Okay. It's like, oh no, I forgot to say, it gives me the feeling of like it's burning in your chest, like you have indigestion. That's how angry I get. When I hear puns, I have a physical reaction to them. Oh, sorry, another redeem. Oh yeah, this song. Ah! It's just a soundbite of a dude screaming. I don't know, I've heard them somewhere and I was like, oh, would be a good soundbite. I'm putting this on. It's fire. Honestly, I feel like Altonia just went into my sound alerts and is like, okay, so she has 40 different things on here. Let me try all of them. Oh, sorry, headphones falling off. Cool. So, TV show wise, have you watched anything that's not from the US? And I'm not counting UK and Australia. Those are English-speaking countries. Like some foreign countries' TV shows that is not like...
The US is foreign to me.
Oh yeah, where are you from then? Or just, well, you know...
I'm from Everine.
Yeah, exactly. But what I meant to say is, not the mainstream, the stuff that you're like, right, I want to watch this TV show. It may be from the 90s, but it's most likely on Netflix, on Prime, or on Disney+, most likely. I'm gonna find them there. It's the kind of shows that you're like, oh, it's like this old 70s Danish show. I need to go to like Daily Motion to like even find an episode of this, because I don't know where this is watchable. It probably is something that could be in its entirety uploaded on YouTube, and nobody will flag it, because it's the IP is so obscure. You know, have you seen this kind of stuff? And if you did, can you recommend some? Because I love that shit.
Stuff that is obscure. I mean, there's some old anime.
No, but anime is different. Anime as a concept isn't obscure. I meant more. What I meant to say is like, for example, for me, I have my like Russian TV shows where I'm like, I cannot watch them on any streaming services at all. In Russia, they have them in DVD box sets. There is no Russian streaming service, so the only place I can go to is honestly people who had DVR'd those episodes and then uploaded them online. That is the only way I can watch them. There is no others, like, if there was a legal way for me to pay and watch them, I would. There simply isn't. And so I'm like, okay, this is my only choice now.
The Red Green Show.
Oh, what's that?
It's a Canadian sitcom thing. Yeah, it's definitely a comedy show. It features a couple of characters. One's name is literally Red, the other is Green.
Ooh.
Yeah, live at this lodge. One is a handyman of sorts, but it gets into like crazy comical stuff. uses...
Is it animated or
No, it's
real
live
life?
action. And
Ah,
yeah, guy uses duct tape for like everything. As he
Flex
says it,
tape.
It's like, duct tape, handyman's secret weapon.
Oh man.
but yeah,
I
he'll
kind of
duct
wanna,
tape like
yeah.
tires to cars and stuff. And
What?
oh yeah, and like crazy thing is like some of this stuff will work, or at least up to a point.
Yeah. Oh my god. I remember it just it hit me. There was this like childhood. It wasn't a TV series. It was just a series of a bunch of childhood movies. I forgot that I think it was called Beethoven, but it was about a San Bernard dog and a family. Does that ring a bell?
Yep. Yeah. Dog's name was Beethoven, just like the composer.
Yeah. It just, I don't know, you were talking about like obscure TV shows, and for some reason, I remember my mom buying on like the VHS a bunch of these, and I found them like, it's not just one film, there's multiples of these films, like a bunch of sequels as well. It's like from, yeah, it's 1992 is the first one, and then it like carried on. I remember watching these as a kid, and I remember like lately when I grew up, I was picking up these VHSs, and it just, the nostalgia hit me like a wall of bricks. Oh my god. What's your opinion on dog movies, by the way? Because that's a whole genre.
I liked a lot of dog movies. But after a while, it's like some of them just kind of did the same thing over and over. Like you have Air Bud. It's like, okay, he does the basketball, now he's doing football, now he's doing baseball, and then it's just the same formula with just different sports. And like, okay, now I'm getting tired. But Homeward
it's
Bound,
different, yeah.
Homeward Bound is amazing.
Homeward Bound.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox is in it. He plays the puppy called Chance.
Oh, this gives me. This is like giving me a weird, like deja vu. Like I think I've seen it. Now that I look at it. Weird. I remember watching this like, I don't know if it was Disney or it was DreamWorks, but it was about this like husky in Alaska trying to deliver medicine to some orphans. Like it was about a bunch of huskies. Do you know what it's called?
I don't know if I've seen it, but I might know what you're talking about. It might be called Balto.
It's an animated film, and they did like two. Bonto, yeah, Bonto, something. with B.
Balto.
Yeah, Balto. That was the one. That was so good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I never had a chance to
Yeah.
watch it, but I always wanted to.
It's so good. It's so good. I haven't seen the second one. The sequels are always meh. But the first one, it gives me like that nostalgic sort of dog film of the 90s, but it's not like sports based. And the stakes are high here because it's working dogs. It's like those huskies that pull the sleds. And the reason is they and their guy, I think the whole concept is they're supposed to deliver medicine from like to the uptown, and they got lost in a snowstorm. And I think the rider has died, and it's just the huskies left. But the huskies know how important it is for them to deliver this medicine, and they have to like go through the like Alaskan wilderness on their own to do it or something. I remember vaguely that I might be wrong, but I think to me as a kid that was such a like, wow, it's all to the dogs to save these orphans. And of course, like, you know, the dogs are talking because I think it was DreamWorks, because I don't think it, oh, maybe it was even Disney.
I don't know.
Because sometimes, like, I feel like if it was because it was old enough for Disney to be actually good, so it could have been Disney.
Shots fired.
I mean, it's true. Or it could have been DreamWorks. I'm not sure which one it is. But definitely Balto is solid animated film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find DreamWorks is coming out with a lot more original stuff now than Disney does. I mean, some of
stuff
it
has
isn't
been
good.
amazing lately.
Yeah, no, I'm
especially
not gonna lie.
the new Puss in Boots.
Some of it is not good. Yes, but
Puss in
also
Boots
some of the
movie,
DreamWorks stuff.
amazing.
But yeah, some of the DreamWorks stuff, they're doing new things, and some things hit and some things stink. Some DreamWorks stuff is bad, but they're not afraid of doing something new.
Yeah.
Yes, Universal. Balto's from Universal. And we currently have bagpipes. Yes. Edinburgh is a wonderful city. Been there twice. Was considering moving to Scotland for work, if there is any work, but...
Scotland!
Scotland forever! So the reason I actually have a pretty passable Scottish accent is because I've watched a lot of Outlander. And Outlander, almost everybody is Scottish and they all have different levels of Scottish, and they actually got Scottish actors to act Scottish in it. And some of them speak original Gaelic.
Yeah. And
So what's great about Outlander is that in the first season, the main character, it sort of time slips back into 18th century Scotland. And at the time, all of the Highlanders spoke Gaelic to each other. Barely anybody spoke English. So when she's standing there, and they're talking amongst each other, you don't get any subtitles because you're supposed to feel like the main character does when you don't understand what people are saying around you and you're terrified. And as the show went on, they started adding subtitles to Gaelic because she, as a character, started learning Gaelic. And I found that's just a very smart director move.
that's a cool way of handling it.
I think it's great. Like, that's why I switched out of it. But because of that, like, I was always wondering why in the season 1 they never had any subtitles for any of the Gaelic they're saying. And I'm like, oh, it's on purpose.
Yep. And I'm gonna have you, do that maybe sometime if you would help me,
Sure.
voice act some characters from my game.
Oh, sure. So I can't do many accents. I'm not that versatile.
Yeah.
Scottish I can do, but it's only like passable. I say passable because I do have a few Scottish viewers,
Yeah,
and they did
but
say
it would
it's
be
okay.
Scottish.
Like, yeah, like it's not bad. It's not horrendous, and it's not like it's only Edinburgh. Like I cannot do Glaswegian or I cannot do Highland. I can only do a soft Edinburgh, very basic Scottish accent. I cannot do Irish at all. It sounds bad. I cannot do Welsh. I can only do Welsh after I binge watch Torchwood, because I feel like if I hear enough people speak an accent, I can then copy it.
Yeah.
But if I haven't heard it for a long time, I won't be able to just click into it. And I'm like, I mean, anybody can do it, chav, yeah? All you have to do is watch anything with Tom Hardy in it. Tom Hardy or Jason Statham. You got yourself a chav. So those two I kind of can switch and do. And of course I can do a Russian accent, because it's not that hard. I'm just... Do you know the secret to how I do a good Russian accent?
Having lived there?
No, actually. Because not many Russians speak this amount of fluent English to be able to fake an accent. The way you do it is properly. Is in your head, to me, I'm starting to think I'm about to speak Russian words, but I am speaking English. But my mouth is prepared to speak Russian words. Do you know? That's how it...
Mouth is prepared. Okay. I
The
don't
premier
really think of
ataque is
anything
which-
like that. I just
Yeah,
I just
I
have
think it is
voice
a bili-
potions.
yeah. It's a bilingual thing, because in my head, for example, I'm gonna speak Russian right now. Я буду сейчас говорить по-русски. And you know, I notice the way my mouth moves and the intonation switches when I speak that. And all I do is, I just suddenly switch to speaking the same way, but I'm pronouncing English words. I cannot do it the other way around, which is really weird.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
you should have some voice
things that- I
potions
feel
too.
Yeah, I should get voice potions. But I mean, I do have, like, whenever somebody plays for Scotland Redeem, I always switch to Scottish accent for a minute. And when somebody plays, no Russian and English accent. I think
Oh!
I can try. Что вы делаете? Я вас не понимаю. But that's just the standard foreigner speaking Russian, or a Westerner speaking Russian. That's not like I have to think about it. It doesn't come naturally. Do you know what I mean? And I think my standard go-to is just American. I guess that's what I'm doing now. Or it's like a blend American. It's not really
American. Oh yeah.
So I do have some redeems on my channel. They're not voice potions, but they're like I switch to an accent.
Yep.
The one I started working on is French, mostly because I know a lot of French people, and some of them have a very strong French accent, so I've just been studying them, seeing how they behave.
And you got Valley Girl.
Valley girl. I mean, oh my god. That one is just an exaggerated accent. That's like making fun of the Valley girl.
Yeah.
It's not something passable. Like you'd be like, oh, this character is from the Valley. It's more like, oh, this person's making fun of somebody from the Valley. So.
Yeah.
But for example, oh no, that would get Scottish. For example, the French one, I can. It is simply the pauses and the always the ability to sound a very a bit confused and looking for particular phrases you'd like to pronounce. A lot of ums. Maybe it is because a lot of the French people who I know barely speak English, so they have to take pauses and think about what they're saying before they say it.
Oh, I knew this one guy from France, and he was still learning English, and he kept going like, oh, how you say, how you say.
It's so French to be like, how you say, and always think about it before they pronounce it. But yeah, I love that. So my coworker is French, so every time I listen to him, I'm like, when he says like, he would say like, I guess a French word that's been loaned into English, and there's a way to pronounce it in English, but he says it in French, and it just shakes you out. Or like, especially like things for work. He would say like centrifuge. He says centrifuge, and I'm like, a what? I'm like, a what? It's like an centrifuge. I'm like, a centrifuge. It's like, yes, centrifuge. Like,
Yeah.
It takes me a while to be like, wait, me?
Oh, there's another word like that too. It not French, but it's like you have some people who say aluminum, and then you hear aluminium. I'm like, wait, what? Blah blah blah.
What's the right one? I think it's aluminium. Because that's the.
But I hear so many more people say aluminum.
Because that's an American way of saying it.
That's very American. Very American.
Same way as writing color without a U. It's wrong. And I'm not taking any comments on that.
It's like the only ones who don't have the U are the Americans.
Yes. Just
and they think we're weird. They're like, no, you're actually the weird ones in that.
Yeah, which is a lot of the time I have on my Word document, I'd be writing something, and then I see a lot of like the red squiggly lines of the words, and I'm like, I didn't misspell it, and then I see it's American
the right
spelling,
way.
and I'm like, screw you.
Or what's worse is when it like autocorrects, especially when it autocorrects to a completely different word.
Yeah, I hate that. But the thing is, I find in international circles and like journals and everything, as long as you're consistent, both of them are correct, especially if it's up a color with or without a U.
Yeah.
Both of them are correct as long as you keep consistent through your paper and don't like switch it up. And they can't like say, oh no, this is a misspelling. They'll just be like, they're just, you know.
Oh, and then you also have to keep in mind, like if you're programming too, because like so many of these programming languages were made in the US, so when you do color, you have to spell it the American way, otherwise the code doesn't work.
I've started learning Python just on an app just for me to like. I'm not very good. It's like a Duolingo but for Python. So I was just trying to do it, and then every time they were like, you have to like designate color, and then like because you designate I forgot the name of it, but you like not a string, but you designate something, and then
variable?
it has. Yeah, you put a variable in it, and they're like, put color, and then write blue, and I put it, and it errored out. I'm like, why? It's like, because you have a U in it. I'm like, sorry for the swearing, but screw you. What do you mean?
Hi, Wolfstar.
I mean, honestly, it's not that good, Villa, because it's not free, and the option that's not premium, you do some of the exercises, but you don't have the like a workbook. Do you know, like when they tell you like you make a code that does this and then you have to do it, and they tell you like what's wrong. It's like short lessons. So
speaking of short, I gotta get up higher before my ankles get numb.
Oh yeah, there you go. Good job. I stopped using it. I've used it for a few months, and then it's not as good as Duolingo, is all I'm gonna say. I know people bash Duolingo, but hey, it's good for vocabulary. It's not good for grammar, but it's good if you don't know many words in a language. It's good for like remembering what, like, getting used to how the language looks, how the language sounds, and what the words mean. Now, the grammar you can learn from watching movies, TV shows, reading books about grammar, but to do that, you need to be able to get used to the way the language sounds to recognize those words, or the way the language reads to recognize that, and Duolingo is good for that. That's what I'm gonna say. Because I'm actually relearning Arabic in Duolingo, and while it doesn't explain why, like the grammar, why you need to have a certain ending in this sentence, and it's different in another sentence. In the same lesson, you would have the same sentence like he eats or she eats, right? In English, it would just be he eats, and you have to write who مطعم, for example, or like he's hungry, or like هو جوعان. And when you say she, it's like هي جوعانة. You see at the end, جوعانة, like the word eats is different, and Duolingo doesn't explain why. But I, as a person who knows grammar, know that all the female sort of, if it refers to a female, there always has to be an ending in both verbs and adjectives to represent that.
Yeah, there's some other languages that have masculine and feminine words.
But
too,
Duolingo does it enough that it puts those two sentences back to back, where through mistakes, if you're smart enough, you can deduce why this happens. But obviously, it doesn't really do a good job. But I find I know sentences are really ridiculous, because in Arabic, as a person, I know that a lot of the time say, for example, this garage is a big garage, for example. I know this is a weird sentence in English, but for new beginners, the garage is a big garage. Like el garage kabir. But in Arabic, you never say that. You just say al garage kabir. Like the garage is big. That's it. You don't. You can stack adjectives, but you don't directly translate to English. So yeah, I get it. Duolingo does have issues, but it's good for certain things, and it's free, and it initiates people learning languages, which is always good. My partner doesn't speak anything apart from English, and it's a struggle to even get him to get interested in another language.
Ugh.
Yeah. I would have thought it was a deal breaker, but then it's great because I can actually speak a different language with my family, and if I have kids, I'll teach them a different language, and we can have a secret language that their dad doesn't understand, which is great.
Yeah,
then we can do
a secret language. Just let's all look at Daddy and laugh.
Yeah, it's it's not even a secret language. You just don't want to learn a second language while the rest of us can. So there you go. You're gonna be left out. It's your problem. So yeah, I tend to be, that's the kind of person I am to motivate somebody. I try to do it nicely, and if they don't do it, I'm like, well, I guess we're just gonna make fun of you and you're gonna be left out. If it doesn't bother you, I guess you're a bigger person. But if it does bother you, do something about it. I'm not gonna stop. And then a person learns a language out of spite, and I'm like, great. Yeah. As long as you learn it, I don't care if it's out of spite.
It's weird, for some reason on your end, your model's, or on my end, your model is frozen.
What? Oh, my end, you're fine. I think maybe it's your internet.
I've got solid bars on my end, so that's weird.
Odd. You're not frozen on mine, and I'm not frozen on mine.
It's weird. You're just frozen on mine.
Let me see if I can reload my model, maybe? Okay, let me try something. Let me do this. Oh, no, that's you. Oops. So there's something you can do. You can go into the collab, and then you can do show model, and that will remove the model.
Oh, wait, you're suddenly moving again. Whoa! Okay. You're going warp speed!
Yeah, I think it's the internet, either on my end or on your end, but there's something that's happening that's not transferring the movement data. But yeah.
Weird!
Am I back to normal?
Yeah, you're back to normal. Okay. I mean, were you normal to begin with?
No.
I don't think either of us are normal.
No, I just went through a time warp. It's fine. So, unfortunately...
Do the time warp again.
Yeah, is that what the song says?
Yep.
I never really paid attention.
It's just a step to the left. And then a step to the right.
Oh no, I know that part. It's the time warp. I always thought, because there's always so much music. It's like, let's do the, and I always was sung like the ta-ta again. I never knew what they actually said.
Oh yeah, time warp.
Ah. Okay, good to know. Is that from like the oh, what's the name? The movie with Jim Carrey.
Not Jim Carrey. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. The
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, that was the word. Is it from that, right? That's
Yeah,
the song.
it's from that.
Okay. Good. Cool. I think we should probably pick one, like, last rant topic, and I think I'll leave it to you to pick, because I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm sorry. My talking / social battery
we've been
is dropping.
kind of all doing rant topics. We hardly even touched on voice acting.
Oh, God, yeah. We just did some of it, but...
Just like, yes, I voice act. On to the next thing.
No, but your voice acting is really good. And, like, I find, like, it's kind of... It's weird when you find somebody who's so good at changing their voice and staying in character for so long. And then you find somebody like me who's like, I can do a funny accent for, like, 10 minutes, and that's about it.
Yeah. What do you mean? My voice doesn't change at all. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, that's great. Have you done, like... You've done some, professional jobs, right?
Somewhat, yes. Not major studio, but I have been paid for independent stuff.
But that's still your portfolio kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this is something like if you want to find another job, you bring them this portfolio of like, I've done this and this and this and this.
Yep.
But I find it's hard to like, where do you get started?
Yeah, there are some places out there where you can find places for auditions and stuff. Voice acting club. There's another one that's a lot like it too. What is it? Voice acting guild or something like that. There's Voices 1, 2, 3. But yeah, there's multiple places where you could go to put up demos and find some jobs and stuff. Sometimes you have to sort through like which ones are volunteer, which ones are paid.
Do you reckon for like, do you reckon once you started getting a pretty, because you have a few jobs under your belt now. Once you have a better portfolio, do you figure out it started easier to find voice acting jobs, or is it the same level of difficulty then if you completely new?
It gets a little bit easier. Like I have had some jobs just land on my lap. So having like word of mouth and actually being good at the craft helps too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's like one person is just like, oh no, I can't find any good people, and then a friend of mine would be like, I got you, bud. I know this little gobbler who can do good things.
Oh, that's good. I mean, word of mouth is the best one, but I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I've always thought like that's so cool to be able to get into voice acting.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that aspect as well, and like listening to how people voice act and be like, oh, this is an interesting thing they did to make themselves sound this way. This is really cool. But I've never, I don't know. I've always like, oh, maybe I should start trying to voice act. But then I always like, I listen to myself back and I'm like, I still sound like me, just with a different accent. And I'm like, I'm not really voice acting, am I? So I'm like, nah.
I mean, sometimes you'll get that too. It's like with a lot of Rob Paulson's characters, I still hear Rob Paulson. And so when he's doing like Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, I still hear him when he's doing Yakko Warner from Animaniacs, or when he's doing Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron. Or was it PJ
doesn't Carl
from?
Carl has a very unique voice, though.
Yeah, he does, and he really likes llamas. Really, 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 really likes llamas.
I like llamas. I can never watch, like, I used to watch Jimmy Neutron a little bit, but I can never watch it again because of all the memes. There's I don't know if you know of Epic the Musical.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it, but yeah, I've heard some of the music.
Yeah, it got really big on TikTok because of some sound bites, but basically the guy finished it. He released all of it on Spotify, but he has also a YouTube channel, and he uploads his, like, how he makes music, and how what is his thought process behind making this melody in like the song about Scylla, you know, how it's like, oh, it's a reminiscent melody of for example, I'm making this about the sirens and they're pretending to be Penelope. I'm actually adding a little bit of strings into Penelope, but they're not exactly the same strings as in the song about Penelope because it's not really Penelope. And you know, he does like YouTube videos explaining music making, which is really cool. And some of those, for some reason, he makes a really good Carl voice. So a lot of people made jokes of like made him reenact certain shows from Jimmy Neutron with like pretending, with like adding the Odyssey or like events from the epic into it, and like it's, I don't know, it's I could never watch Jimmy Neutron normally again because that one guy on YouTube does this parody, and now that's all I can think about every time I hear Carl. It's weird.
Yeah, I had this one voice I did, and then someone was like, "Oh, that's Stitch." I'm like, "Who?" And then I actually watched Lilo and Stitch. I'm like, "Oh, well, that is actually like really
Does he
close."
sound like this? Like,
yeah.
You can't really understand what he's saying.
I think some of the words are like in an alien language. I swear.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to. He sounds like Simlish, you know, like the Sims.
Yeah.
Language. And you're like, this feels like a language because the intonation is correct, but I have no idea what they're saying.
But when he is speaking English and stuff, it's like,
Ohana. Ohana means family. Family means
oh yeah, that's
going to
Stitch
stop
voice
behind
right
or forgotten.
there. Yep, that's Stitch voice.
yeah, that's Stitch.
Yeah. I don't know, I always feel like, oh, I should get into voice acting. Then I hear actual voice actors who can do that, and I'm like,
Well,
yeah.
But here's actually a big misconception. Voice acting isn't just like, it isn't doing different voices. Voice acting is merely just acting with your voice. If you can do all this other stuff, that's just some of the extra sauce.
The special sauce.
The special sauce.
Because
there's a lot of people, like, look at
sauce.
The guy who plays Joe Swanson in Family Guy. That's his voice.
Oh yeah, he sounds
Patrick
do you know
Warburton.
what's
Patrick Warburton.
interesting? Yeah, do you know what's interesting about Patrick Warburton? Because he sounds like Joe Swanson so much. I think I've seen I might have seen an animated series where I swear to God somebody sounded like him, and I realized it was actually his son because it sounded just a little bit off. Who did the voice acting for it? I don't remember who it was, or which series it is, but by ear it's such a unique, like, because it's so like such a manly man voice.
It is.
That I was like, it must be faked. Like, there's no way. Like, it's just a like, and it was so unique. It reminded me of Cusco, you know, from not Cusco, Kronk.
That's the same guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the same guy. Yeah. No, I think the guy who voices Kronk is his son, not the same.
Oh, I thought it was Patrick Warburton.
Oh yeah, hold on. It's Patrick. Yeah, I did search this recently. What's the last name again?
Warburton?
Yes. Patrick Warburton. Yeah, he does Cusco. Sorry, he does Kronk, and he's in Family Guy. That's the same guy. But, his son, because he has a son, something Warburton, I think James Warburton? He might be in the Mighty Nine, like the recent animated series. Oh, he's also in The Tick. I didn't know that.
He doesn't do different voices. It's just his natural voice.
Yeah. So Talon Warburton is his son, and he does a very similar voice. Oh, not on here. Hold on. I think he was in the Mighty Nine. Because I remember watching like an episode of the animated series The Mighty Nine with my partner, and then I was just like, this voice is so familiar. Is it Patrick Warburton? And I was like, and I searched it. I was like, no, it's Talon Warburton. I'm like, who the hell is Talon? And it's his son. And I'm like, how can dad and son have such similar voices? Guess they can.
Yep.
No, it's bizarre.
I don't sound anything like my pappy.
Oh, sorry, no. It was in Honkai. It was in Honkai Star Rail. He voices Argenti, which is like the voice, Idrilla, the beauty. He has the same, like, vibe as Joe Swanson, so I was like, there's no way, he sounds so much like him. Then I realized it's his son who does it. Wow. But anyway, yeah, it's a, I guess it's what called typecasting, isn't it?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like games like this, when you have so many characters, this is where a lot of like very obscure voice actors can shine, because you know, it's hard to repeat the same characters. People are like, oh, they sound the same. So, and you have at least like 70 playable and so many NPCs. You can like, oh, I can hire like a batch of new people.
It's a little difficult for me to be typecast. Cause like
Yeah.
everyone who knows my range is like, wow, you can just do anything.
You
I'm
can
like,
do
well,
anything, yeah, you
not
can do-
anything, but
Yeah.
I have had everything from like big burly blacksmiths to voice cracking geeks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'll try out. I don't even know how. Like, what do you record for a demo?
Well, when you're just starting out, you could just take parts of scripts and read off of that.
Yeah. Record that and then, you know, send it in for
Yeah.
certain
And
jobs.
you know,
stuff.
you want to keep in mind the delivery for each, even if it's in your own voice. Sometimes you just want to maybe change the intonation a bit. Like, I can still do this voice, but I can make it go up and down for some characters.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
I knew this one person. He's like,
Hello, I am Mr. Libert.
he's like, really up, down, up, down, up, down. He's like, it's silly.
It's silly. I don't think I can do that. Like my vocal cords are gonna.
And
kill
then
me
I
if
had a
try.
math teacher whose voice was extremely monotone, like that one teacher from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I think the only voices, like genuinely, I can change up and go for a lot.
Would probably be something like this, which is kind of my voice, but a much higher register.
It's the
And I always
anime
look
voice.
So young and peppy and very anime, with a little bit of a psychotic tinge.
That's it. I can only like like what do you call it? Go in a higher register. I can try to do lower register, but it always just goes to mommy voice, and I feel like that is a very niche thing.
Can you imagine if I were to go higher? Like, wouldn't that be
no.
just really, really silly?
It would sound like some. Oh my god! It reminds me when you do this. It reminds me of anything by Monty Python. Whenever they try to play women, they just go, "I'm just gonna be like this, a very silly mon-" Like it's very clearly a man. Like they are not even trying.
Yeah.
The whole point of it. It's funny because they're not trying. Because
Yeah,
they're just going very high and say speaking like this.
People say I could do anything, but I cannot do feminine voices. It's like, sure, I
don't
played
think I
a
can do
couple
masculine
females, but
voices.
it's like they sound like Roz from Monsters Inc. It's like, Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork.
Mike Wazowski. Oh, you came in here.
I think I've always been trying to do like very mask voices, but it's really hard for me. I feel like the closest I ever came
Yeah.
to
Well, the different
probably be
parts of the
something like this, but
vocal
that,
cords
you
will
know,
do
that
different things and
Yeah.
need to exercise some
this
of them.
doesn't
But
sound like a man. It sounds like a very butch woman, which is cool too.
yeah, kind of reminds me of that. Oh, what was that one lady in Atlantis? She was the one who kind of hired Milo, Helga,
Oh,
or something.
Helga. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, my bi-awakening was Helga. Now that I realize, this is so strange because, again, not switching topics real quick. It's also voice acting that has to do with those, not just character design and voice acting.
Yeah.
But a lot of animated shows made me. I didn't know at the time I was bi until I was 22, and now that I look back on it, I'm like, oh, that was the moment where I should have been. If only I didn't live in a country where that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now I get it. That's why I found her so attractive. That's why. Or like, that's why I found this character so attractive. Like, it was male characters as well. I was like, that's why. It's just because I have a type. I didn't know. But yeah, Helga was one of them.
Yep.
For sure.
I know you do like muscle mommies.
Well, actually, it's more Danny thing. To me, I think I have a type, like, if a male character has silver hair, I don't care if they're long or short, they're already irresistible to me. If I also really like, I don't know how to say twinkie characters. Like, I don't like somebody who's
Very uppy and very happy.
so I hate March.
Because she's always 100% peppy.
I just want to slap her. I don't know. I really dislike it. It's different from your vibe, Gavin. Like, you have you're innocent, and it's very, I'd say it's adorable, but it's not like.
It's not like March. She speaks like she's an overly, like, a really bad English dub of an anime.
And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, and there's also a
right,
difference
this woman.
between, like, the adult cute and childlike cute.
Yeah, she's like an adult pretending to be cute, and I'm like, oh god. Please
Yeah.
Stop. Child cute is okay. Adult pretending to be cute is cringe. So that's why for male characters even, I don't really like. Usually young boys are played by women.
Yep.
In a lot of voice acting. I dislike that. Like, give me a deep baritone. I really like a man who speaks like this. Somebody like Jiguan from
Alrighty.
Honkai Star Rail. Yes, not too deep. Too deep, like there is a range. I think it also has to do with the tone. I really
maybe.
like a mocking tone.
You might like my
Like-
character Max Wit.
There we go. That's it. That's the registers. Like, not too high, not too low, but on the lower side. And I think it has also to do with the attitude. So, like, I just don't like peppy characters. Give me somebody who's, I don't need them to be emo and broody. Like, that's too much. Give me somebody who's like relaxed.
Just some
and
confidence
chill.
and such would be nice.
Yes, confident, smart, knows
Oh,
what they're
not
up
wit,
to, sometimes
uh,
laughs,
wit.
you know?
As in, that this is super witty dialogue.
Yes! Love that, love that. Give me somebody who, like, chuckles. Anybody who chuckles, male or female, I'm into it. Sexy chuckle, give me. Yes, that. Give me more of that. Of course, this is why I love Honkai and Genshin. There's so many characters. They satisfy this vibe, this, like, desire to hear this more in me. And there's, of course, a lot of cute characters for people who like them. A lot of childlike characters. A lot of, oh god, Blade is so angsty. Like, there's some characters that are just angst personified for people who like that kind of stuff. Some characters were silly, some characters were not. And I find, like, the range is so huge in Honkai and Genshin because you can afford to have so many characters. Unlike, I guess, standard RPGs. You don't really get that many. I mean, like, Baldur's Gate, like, I don't know, I just like villains as well. Give me villains. Give me evil chuckling villains and layers.
And then you have silly chuckles like, like Clank in Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah. Or like, oh god, I found like the one like voice I will never forget is the Tasmanian Devil's voice. Probably. And it sounded like he's conversing, but it was just complete nonsense.
Yeah, and then
he's just-
sometimes
I don't
he
know.
have some actual words in there. Like,
Yeah, it's so like comparing to all the other, I guess, animation, because it's Warner Bros, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
WB.
he was like the most recognizable to me by ear. Like, if somebody just did a soundbite, it'd be like Tasmanian Devil right there. Was he the one with the laugh, or was it, or the? I mean, him and the. I can't do it, but it's the bird.
Yep. Oh,
I can't do that.
Woody's
voice. It's
the woodpecker.
the woodpecker, yeah, because it's like the. No, not the woodpecker, the roadrunner.
The roadrunner goes blep 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 blep. It is zoom, but it's Woody that does that.
Okay, yeah, I can't do it. It requires, like, you need to clip your voice while you're moving up an octave. That's hard.
Yeah. Speaking of laugh, what's his name? Tom Kenny, I think his name is. And he does the laugh for SpongeBob. He actually takes his hand and does like soft little chops on his throat as he does the laugh.
Oh, to make sure that it works. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're voice acting and you're not physically, like, you're not on camera, you can actually do those tricks to
Yep.
change your voice up to do certain things. How damaging is that, though?
With the soft
to your
taps,
voice?
not damaging. So I could do some. Now it's like, ah.
Oh, that's kind of funny. Sorry, it made me laugh. That's a funny laugh.
And then I knew someone who, while she didn't do it, it still had the staccato, and I kind of called it the machine gun laugh. Oh, hi, Dyla. But yeah, her laugh went like a.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Have you seen those kind of like weird laugh compilations on YouTube? Of like people laughing in a very strange way, and then like the fact that it's so odd and what makes you laugh, and then it's just a laugh chain.
Yeah.
I think I've seen one where like a woman was going, and then the dad heard that and went, and then everybody went crazy because like she made him laugh, and his laugh was even crazier, and so the entire video went crazy. Yeah, I guess I could do a pretty believable witch cackle, but my partner already. Every time I do a weird voice, he comes into a room and gives me a look. Like it gives me a judgy look. Like, what are you doing? Like, listen, there's a purpose to the madness. There's a purpose to the madness.
Yeah.
You shouldn't come in at a random time, okay? But yeah. Let me try to do a witch cackle. See if I can.
Yay.
There you go. That's a witch cackle. My dog gave me a stare. It's like, what are you doing? So I feel like that's something I can definitely pull off. Like, there's a few, like, very unique, short, I guess sound bites is what they are.
Yeah.
That I can do. But they're not a fully fledged character.
Yeah, it's like so many people and their dog can do the like what's up doc line. It's like, okay, now do anything else in Bugs' voice. You're like, oh no, I can't.
Yeah, it's really hard.
But I mean, definitely I can be a witch.
Mhm.
I just channel my inner crazy. It's
Yeah.
just it's how it is.
You got the stereotypical witch, but of course a witch can sound like anything.
Oh, she can sound like anything, yeah.
Yep. It's like,
I do like a more classy witch.
yep. Well, I like the Sarah Jessica Parker witch from Hocus Pocus.
Oh God. Oh, I remember vividly like I remember the images of that movie, but I do not remember how they sounded.
Yep. Oh, and she had such a good song too. And she's like trying to round up the children.
Yeah, I forgot Sarah Jessica Parker can sing.
Yeah.
Completely forgot. So it hit me by surprise, because isn't she also in Mamma Mia as well?
I actually
Maybe
have
the
not
second
seen
one.
Mamma Mia. I mean, I
But
hear
yeah, I feel like yeah.
the songs from it all the time, but I actually have not watched it.
Well, the songs from it are basically ABBA.
Yeah.
The entirety of Mamma Mia is very similar to Moulin Rouge and very different from Les Mis and everything else, which have original musical songs.
Yeah.
In a way, like Moulin Rouge and Mamma Mia are made, there's a band. In Moulin Rouge is a bunch of different bands, but in Mamma Mia it's ABBA who
Yeah.
wrote an entire repertoire of songs, and they made a movie where they stuck the songs where they thought they fit.
It's like the same thing with Romeo and Juliet. They used all the Elton John songs.
Oh my god, I think I've seen that. Was that animated? I think that was animated. wasn't
Yeah, it was CG.
Yeah, I remember watching that. It was a fever dream. It's okay. Alright, this was a lot of fun. I feel like, I'm sorry, but I'm probably gonna have to wrap up.
Yeah, There's still like so much stuff we could talk about later on. It's just we got off topic a lot, but it still had fun.
The Ranger Roundtable is the way this works, okay? Is the way my brain works. We start, the reason why I say we need to think about something to talk about is to start the conversation. The conversation will veer like a train, like, it's like, the only way to explain it is you put a cart on a track, but the track only has enough for the first 10 minutes. After that, it's just the desert. And the trolley, because it got inertia from the track, it's gonna keep moving. But the direction is always gonna be weird. And that's what these ranger round tables
And then it goes
are.
like a
They
pinball.
Exactly. They start a certain way, and then like a squirrel on caffeine, it just goes until I am too tired to
Oh,
talk.
that reminds me of Over the Hedge. Yeah, Hammy takes
Oh,
a sip of the energy
I've
drink.
seen that. That
The
was
world
so
just
good.
slowly stops.
I love Over the Hedge, and I know they did like a second one. I feel like, why would you do sequels to a really good, like, it was an original idea at the time, and I'm like, why would you do a sequel to something that's just it's good on its own? Just leave it be.
Yeah.
They have to have a sequel.
And that kind of goes back to where we were going with the, just gotta rehash like all these old IPs.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know what? Everything we talk about, it can always be cycled back to a prior conversation.
Yeah.
And having ADHD is you're always keeping old conversations in your mind, and cycling back to something that's happened 3 hours ago is easy as pie for me. But everybody else gets confused because suddenly I'm like, say something. I'm like, are we having two different conversations? I'm like, no, I just didn't finish that conversation 3 hours ago.
I
And
probably
only
have
now
some
remember the name.
ADHD too.
Oh, bad. Well, that's why we click, man. That's why a lot of people I speak to, a few of them who don't have it, struggle following my chain of thought. But
Your train of thought goes
Organized
choo
chaos,
choo 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 choo.
crash. All right. Do you have anybody you know who you'd like to raid? I always ask the guest to suggest somebody so I can get
Yeah.
someone new
With me,
into
it's
my
a
follow list.
little tricky because despite having lots of people that I watch, because I am family friendly, there's only so much of those that I can go into.
Fair enough. I only know you as a family-friendly streamer.
Yeah, we're a rarity.
A rarity indeed, yes.
But you know what?
I respect it.
I think
respect
I've
it.
done well enough for myself, despite being family friendly.
Oh, no, you're doing great. I mean, I'm sorry. I told you, I'm sorry in advance. I've tried to control, and I think I've slipped up. I've counted 5 times I've slipped up.
About
Yeah, maybe a bit more, but I've been good. If it was someone else, I would have gone a lot more crazy.
yeah.
So yeah, apologies in advance. If you have the VOD on your end, you can always just bleep me.
I put in like a rubber ducky sound.
Yes, a rubber ducky sound. There we go. Perfect. Because to me, I guess it was really strange because I knew how to swear like a sailor in Russian when I was 12. Because if you went to school, everybody swore. And it was weird if you didn't know what it meant, so you had to have like a quick education when you went from elementary to middle school about how to swear. And the teachers, they wouldn't stop it because it's impossible. Everybody swore, including the teachers. And so to me, it was like, you know, when they say, oh, this has to be family friendly, you cannot use... Because I feel like discussing certain topics, yeah, I understand that there needs to be a certain level of, you know, adult topics shouldn't be in the same place as kids are. But swearing, to me, was like, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're gonna be exposed to it anyway. And so it's a bit hard to, like, immediately censor myself. So
And then there's me who like never ever swears.
No, but it's good as well, because it's a bad habit. And, like, unfortunately, when it becomes a part of your everyday speak, I guess, it's really hard to stop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to turn it off for a little bit. So I need more practice. So that's why we need to do more of these. So I practice, and you know what? You can have a big red button that you press when you're like, you said a bad word. put a coin in a coin jar.
Oh, the coins. And I thought of someone we can raid.
Oh, great.
It says he's playing board games, but right now it looks like he's just looking at winter photos. But
Hey.
he's
You know, maybe it's a
generally pretty good. Some of the games he plays I can't raid into, like when he's doing Metal Gear. Little
Yes.
too mature, but I think today is pretty good. So QuinCat VT, is a
How do you can you send it on Discord?
I have,
the
yeah.
correct spelling.
so he is a cat VTuber from Canada.
Ooh. Yes, I do not follow them. Perfect. Let's raid. Do you do raid message?
Usually my go-to is Goblin Hug Attack.
Oh, nice. I usually use Frosty Tools. So if you want to copy the Frosty Tools one from me as well, or if you want to do your own, it's up to you. Goblin Hug Attack, there you go. Everybody copy the raid message you want to do, or don't and just say something. It's fine. And there we go. Let's raid. Thank you so much for coming, Gavin.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully you'll be available for Red Dragon Inn.
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna try to make it
I put it on my calendar.
nice. You can definitely. I believe there's like a goblin you can play. I don't know if we're gonna do a
Oh.
voice acting or not. We'll see if people feel like it. But
It's okay.
No
if there's
pressure
other
for
characters, I could be other characters.
Like maybe a big gruff adventurer.
I think all of us are VTubers and we make voices on our channels. We should be able to like roleplay as our character just a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'll explain the rules if I remember them, and we'll play a round or two. They're not that complicated. I came in not knowing a thing, and then I played for a whole game, and I almost won. So it's doable. It's
Yeah.
not rocket science. Awesome. All right, are we all ready?
I am
Say
ready.
bye, everybody. Bye bye.
Take care. Get lots of hugs. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for coming, Gavin.
Oh yeah.